All right, we are live. Let's get this show
What's
started.
up, everybody?
Episode 1 with Kaylee. Here we go. Mhm.
What up? What up?
Breathe in, breathe out. Fucking baby, take a new route. Don't listen to him, always talk down. Don't give him the sex, always putting out. He ain't never been real, call him a nickname. Patty whacking his dick like it's a Kit Kat. He was sharing it all over behind your back. The 4-5 looking like a payback. Get back. He ain't never loved you. Fucking another girl, what he be doing to you? Walk on water, give him the world. Always flirting with other girls. Fuck that shit, girl. You were better than that, you ain't an object. You were better than that, so why you take that? Quit that. You a shining star.
Warning. Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewers' discretion advised.
No! Down the hill.
Everybody to Crooked Crown Empire. We are launching season 1, episode 1, and we have a rock star in the house. We are so excited to have this guy. He's amazing. His name is Kaylee. Kaylee, give everybody a shout out. Tell your people what's up.
What's up, gang, motherfuckers?
Gang, gang.
Yes. Alien Gang, too. We're going to get into all that. You're going to be explaining everything about yourself. This has been something we've been waiting for. We've been teasing people for, and now it's here. So, this is going to be a chance for you to, clear your name, explain who you are, tell your story, talk about what kind of person you are, nothing's going to be left unsaid. And Kaylee's been more than generous because he said nothing's off the table, y'all. So
Nothing.
make sure to tune in. Go to Facebook, hit up Crooked Crown Empire, type it in. We are live streaming there. Don't worry though, if you miss it, we will be here. This will be stamped, and this will be Kaylee's newest project. We'll be promoting some music coming up. We'll be taking breaks in between to promote his music videos that are fire and raw. So this is Prince.
What's going on?
Prince is our host, and I'm the co host, and I'm running my mouth with these fine gentlemen tonight, and I'm excited to get into it. Kaylee,
What's up?
Lord, long time Nashville gem. Tell us your beginnings.
Where you guys? Where
Let's
you
jump.
guys out of?
We're out of Clarksville,
We're
bro.
we're in Clarksville right there.
Oh,
I'm a
you're
veteran.
right up the street.
Yeah.
Ah,
I was just in
I'm
Clark.
gonna
I was just in
I'm
Clarksville
gonna
yesterday.
actually have you. I'm gonna actually come see you and have you do my crown chest tattoo.
Awesome, awesome. I did
yep.
not know y'all were in
But
Tennessee.
Yeah, we're
yeah,
right here. Yeah,
yeah.
with you, man.
Perfect.
We
That's
were just in
why.
Nashville last night partying up.
Yeah, I met you probably about 10 years ago. You were working in the shop. You and Brittany had Forsaken, I think,
No, it's
at
probably
the time.
never give up.
Never
Never
give
give up.
up. Yeah, it was in Murfreesboro there. I was doing some work and you were standing outside and I was kind of talking to you. So, and then I checked out your Facebook and everything like that, and you were just always a fascinating individual that I followed. So, when I
Yeah, I'm
had this
a
idea,
weirdo.
nah, man, it's kind of like your music kind of like reminds me of some music that has like a production value. Some people who are like that are like Insane Clown Posse, Rob Zombie, Guar, people like that. There's a lot of entertainment value that goes with the music also.
Yeah, yeah. I just make music. I mean, I don't ever just sit down and say, man, I'm gonna write a this type of rap song, or I'm gonna write a rock song, or I just don't ever. I drive from the beat. So if the beat is rock oriented, then I come harder. If it's metal, then I come harder. If it's pop, then I backpedal. I mean, it just really just I write whatever I feel
Yeah.
at the moment.
So tell me, like, okay, because you don't just do music. So Kay Lee, if y'all don't know, this man is a beast. Not only does he do music, but he also is a master ink tattoo artist, an owner of a large emporium shop called King Allen's Tattoo Emporium, correct? He is a masterful tattoo artist as well. He has worked on many people, including people he knows well. His list his background reflects his all of his achievements that he's done, and he is nothing short of. This man even has a book coming out discussing his journey. So talk to me about this. So like what started for you? Like where did it all begin for you? Like take us to the scratch of life for you.
Which part do you want to know?
So,
My,
all right, so take it to
music?
the beginning where you decided to do something with yourself, where you were as to like how you gained into success in general.
Well, I guess I'll start with music because it all kind of ties in together. But
Yeah.
I wrote my first song when I was 8, and it was I never thought I'd ever do anything with music, but I had a drive to write music, so I wrote songs about cheerleaders and about girls and stuff like that when I was 8 years old. And when I became a teenager, um, I was in a lot of trouble, so my music took a turn and it turned into more of violence and things like that. And never still thought I'd ever do anything musically outside of just playing around. And I got a job in 1998. I worked for a company in Nashville that sold products from door to door, and
Oh wow.
they taught me they taught me how to sell VHS tapes, stuffed animals, different things that I had no belief in at all, but it was how I was making a living. So they taught me how to go from business to business, door to door, selling products. And one day I got this bright idea. I said, if I ever did put out a record, I could probably do the exact same thing that I've been doing with these teddy bears and these VHS tapes and all this stuff that I don't believe in. And I could probably make a good living doing this. So I went in the studio in 1999 and I recorded my very first album. I was about 20 years old. And I set out to put this album out. At the time, I was doing Christian rap, and I wanted to impact people. I wanted to touch people with my music.
Love
So I
that.
put out an album, um, saved up money, put the album out, and then had this idea that I was going to hit the streets and sell my music and see what happens. So I went out with a little portable CD player, and I went from business to business and door to door. The first day that I was out there in 1999, I sold
Awesome.
13 copies of my album, which was 130
Wow.
bucks in one day. So
Wow.
Nice.
99, I thought, well, if I did this 7 days a week, I could make 1,200 bucks a week, and I'm only 20 years old. So I said, I can. And back then, that was good money. So I mean, now
Hell yeah.
that's not really as good of money as it was back then, but back then it
But
was.
back then, you're right. Yeah, it definitely was.
So I quit that job selling products and started selling my album that just came out on the streets full time. So within like the first 2 or 3 months, I had sold 1,000 copies. I started hiring people off the streets and taught them how to sell my music. So they were making 300 to 500 bucks a week selling my records. So I kept
Wow.
getting in the studio, producing more music. Long story short, 7 years of doing that every day, I had sold 54,000 CDs out of the trunk of my car. Um, and honestly, if God had never
Wow.
put me into
Impressive.
That
if
is.
God never put me into tattooing, guys, I probably would have sold well over 100,000 CDs. Because where I'm from here, there isn't any other rapper that did what I did without a deal or without some sort of push or help. I did it all by myself. I did all of it without even using one bad word in any of my records. So I traveled all over the United States. Me and my guys were selling 400 to 500 CDs a week.
Wow.
We were traveling everywhere. We drove all the way as far as Texas, Oklahoma to sell music, and people started to pay attention. I didn't have management, so I didn't have anybody fueling me to make the right decisions in music. So that's where it started. And
It's insane.
you know, it's a whole lot that happened in the process, and from that to get me into tattooing, and it all just kind of dominoed into that. Like, I don't know how
That's
how
insane.
deep you want me to go
Talk
with
to me
that.
about Well, talk to me about, okay, so the people you've met along the way have been a monumental, you know, there's been both. There's been a reward source and like a thorn source. So talk to me about like who are some of the people that people know that you've known for a long time. And how did they like kind of, you know, how did they go through with music? How did you work on music with some of those people? Talk to me about some of that, like some of your stories with, because I mean they're insane.
Do you want good stories, or do you want failures?
I want them all. I mean, it
Whatever
all
you want to talk.
it all mixes. Absolutely, it's a free cake, like everything. There's nothing off limits here. Talk to me about the good things, the bad things. Talk to me about your newest album and what it means and why it's titled the way it's titled. You know.
Well, even back then, like even when I was doing music full time, I really had no intentions of doing music full time. It literally just happened that way, and um, opportunities were coming my way, but I didn't even know they were opportunities. Like, um, I didn't have anybody telling me this is a good idea, you should do this, or this is a bad idea, you shouldn't do this. So I just kind of, if it didn't involve me making more money than what I was making now, I usually turned all of the opportunities down. And
Yeah.
that was bad, because I didn't realize some of the opportunities that came my way were beneficial. Like when I was 22 years old, I got a call from a major record company at the time. I was starting to make headway as a kid. Like I was 20, 21 years old, out hustling records like that every day. People weren't doing that. There was no iTunes. There was no digital platforms. So nobody put digital songs out. That didn't exist. So if you didn't actually physically put your songs, your music on CDs and go sell them, nobody heard them. So I was out there making headway. People were starting to pay attention. We were doing 3, 4, 5 shows a week, and that was
Wow.
as a kid. So we were
Wow.
going to different venues. We were doing big shows, small shows, whatever shows we could get into. My phone started ringing, and I started running into people on the streets that, you know, I didn't even know they were big, or some of them weren't big, but they became big later on. I had 2002, a label called me. I'm not going to mention the label's name, but they're actually in bankrupt now. But they contacted me and said that their brand new artist was releasing their first major album, and they wanted me to sell them the rights of 2 of my songs to put on
Wow.
the album. Well, that was cool, but I was just a kid, so I didn't know that was a good idea. So I said, well, how much money does it pay me? And they said, well, we'll pay you $2,000 to buy these songs, and these songs are going to open up doors for your career. I didn't know. So I said, I'm not interested. They said to me, and I quote, they said, "You're an underground nobody, and nobody knows you, and you're blowing a huge opportunity here." And I said, well, to
Wow.
me, I don't see that, because the money that you're paying me, I can make in a week by myself. So I said, I don't know how that's an opportunity to me, because I'm giving you the rights to 2 of my songs for what? I didn't know it was an opportunity. Well, long story short, that album came out, and the first year it went platinum. And it was Little John, the East Side Boys' second album, their first major album, Certified Crunk.
Wow.
I was supposed to have been on it twice. I didn't get on it at all.
Holy shit.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
To this day, it sold over 15 million records. If I had have done it, I would have 15 plaques on my wall from that album alone. There is an artist by the name of Pitbull that was on that album.
Yeah.
Well, he was a nobody just like me, and he had management unlike me, and he got on that album unlike me. and you look at where he is now,
Mr.
stars,
Worldwide.
Walk of Fame,
Yeah.
60 million records sold, multi-millionaire, superstar. And you look at where I'm at, 44 years old, still trying to make it in music. You know, opportunities come and go, and if you don't walk through the door, sometimes it leaves you. And that's
That's an
just
excellent point.
True.
that's just one of them. That's just one of them. There's just so many. Like, in 2003, I got contacted by a company out of Houston, Texas, and they wanted to sign me to what was my first national distribution deal for my CDs to be in stores all across the United States. Walmart,
Yeah.
Best Buy, stores like that I was so excited about, because I looked at that as a huge opportunity. I thought, well,
Yeah.
you know, my music's going to be available everywhere. So now when I go places, I can do autographed in stores. I can sell CDs in the parking lots when I'm leaving. I said, I can really make a lot of money. So I
Yeah.
signed a contract, and they put my album in 450 stores in the United States from
Wow.
2003 to like 2005. I was in Walmart. We were on the top sellers at Best Buy. Like, we were making big moves, man. I broke records at FYE stores. Like, Manny Fresh came to Jackson, Tennessee in 2005. And
Mhm.
shortly after Manny Fresh came there, I showed up. I sold 171 copies of my album in 60 minutes. And I had a line out the door. I broke the record in that store. Nobody's ever sold 171 CDs in 60 minutes. And I was an absolute nobody. Bob
That's
Higgins that year,
insane.
Awesome.
rest in peace to Bob Higgins, but Bob Higgins,
Yeah.
who was the owner of FYE, in 2005, he named me most likely to succeed independent rappers in the whole United States of America.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
That's
I,
impressive.
I fucked that up. I did. Because, you know, I had tons of opportunities to make it and to blow up in music, but I didn't know they were opportunities. You know, I just thought that these people were trying to use me, trying to steal my music. I didn't know that it was a crawl before you walk type scenario.
Yeah.
That same company that I signed a deal with in 2003 that put me in stores all across the country, they never paid me.
Oh,
So
wow.
my album was in stores. They took thousands of copies, put them in stores everywhere, and they never paid me. So the album's everywhere. I did 60 autographed in-store tours with them. I sat for hours signing autographs, and I had a crew that came everywhere, and they were in stores. I met a lot of close homies still at those in-stores, but they never paid me one dime for all my hard work. So that really bummed me out. So I guess that I had rubbed them the wrong way, because I asked them for my money. And I said, I need you to pay me. And they said, Kaylee, people don't come here to get paid. They come here for sound scans. And I said, I don't care nothing about no sound scans. And at that time, I only had one kid. I have 8 kids now. But at that time, I said, you know, I need to get paid for what I've done. And I guess I upset them. So I put out the album. It was in stores. They had a major distribution deal with another major label. They put, I guess, it was like a blacklist, blackball type deal for my career, which I'm sure that a lot of these people still have me on that, but hoping that I don't ever make it. But they sold the rights of one of my album cover concepts that was one of a kind. I had took
Speaking
2
of which,
covers.
isn't there a rumor about that with, wasn't there something about Nelly? Like, there
Yeah,
was a situation that going on?
yeah, I had a lawsuit against Nelly because of what they did to me. Like, they sold the concept of my album cover to Nelly in 2004. My album came out October 25th, 2003. His album came out September of 2004. It has nothing to do with Nelly, all label stuff.
You were mad at Nelly, right?
No,
Yeah.
it
You were, it was,
do with Nelly. Nelly had nothing to do with it. Nelly probably doesn't even know who I am. But their label, they sold, the label that I was with sold my concept to Nelly's people. They put the album out. Nelly's album went 5 times platinum. They
Your
never
idea.
they never once mentioned me. So I went to get a lawyer in Houston, and
Yeah.
within a couple of months after the lawsuit process started, they dropped the 2-disc album and made it a single disc, and they put it out everywhere as a 1-disc album. You can still go to Google right now and type that album. I don't want to say too much, but it was an album from Nelly where 2 covers made a puzzle when you put the covers together. Well, I did that a year and 2 months before his did. So you can go to
man.
Google and look
Yeah.
it up. My album was called The First Chapter. I was planning on dropping 7 different albums. They were all double disc and all covers made puzzles. I was one of the first rappers to ever. I signed 777 copies of my last album that went into stores in gold, and 1 in 32 booklets had an autograph in it. I was one of the first rappers to ever treat the music like a pack of baseball cards. Like, you don't know if you're going to get an autographed copy. I had people that bought my album 16 times trying to get one of the gold versions. Nobody did
Wow.
anything like that. I always was one step ahead of everybody else, and that's probably why a lot of rappers don't associate with me. I'm a smart guy.
You were what was that?
He's a
I
smart
was
guy.
just
You are a smart guy, by the way.
smart guy, and I come up with ideas all the time. I've wrote movies and that have never come out. I've created creams that heal psoriasis and eczema. I used to have a lab in my tattoo shop, and I used to sit and create products. I would be a multimillionaire right now if one of my products had done a little different in trials. I had a product that I created for scars that it went into 6-month trials with 2 different doctors. And this happened in 2009. And they used my product for 6 months on breast reduction scars. And when they did boob jobs for the scars that they have underneath and on the breast, they used my product.
That's incredible.
After 6-month trial, they told me, they said, your product heals the wounds 3.5 weeks faster than the #1 scar treatment cream on the planet. The only reason why I'm not writing you a 7-figure check is because it didn't heal it better. They healed the same. But mine was 3.5 weeks faster, and it didn't matter because one tube was $150 a tube. Mine was $50. So they made more money off the other one, and I lost it. I've just literally, my whole career has been stacked with failure after failure after failure, and then me getting back up off the floor, more failure, more failure. I've been so close so many times. I mean, I did autograph in stores where famous people sat in line and waited to have my CD autographed for them, and only to find out
telling us about that.
You were telling about that. Did you want to share who that was? Like, because that was a pretty cool
For the
name.
2 kids who were in line.
Yeah, wasn't
they
it?
were teenagers. This is on God. This happened, man. And a lot of this stuff is very emotional to me because my music is very passionate to me. It's not like
of course.
it's not like going fishing, or I don't care about any of that shit. Like, my music has been my whole life since I was a kid, So
what about, speaking of since you're a kid, like what about Jason? Jason, what can you tell us about Jason? Seems like everybody in the world seems to know who your boy Jason is now. But you ended up.
Let me backpedal because I want to tell you. I want to tell you who those people were that stood in line. Like,
you are going to say, okay, I was worried that you weren't going to, okay.
No, I don't mind because it's the truth. Yeah. And I know they'll still remember this to this day. Yeah. I know that in comparison to them, I'm nothing. And I understand that, but I know if you,
that's not true.
Do they remember, standing in line as teenagers and buying Kaylee's The First Chapter album? I wouldn't doubt it if it's still there, if they still have it. It's probably tucked away somewhere. It's the truth.
Yeah.
You know, they were kids. They stood in line, and when they got to my table, they said, you know, man, we're rappers. We're doing exactly what you're doing. We're just trying to make it. And I said, that's awesome, man. I said, what's your name? And he said, my name's Little Boosie and my name's Little Webby. And nobody knew who they were. They were kids, you know. And so they gave me their card.
Wow.
They gave me their card. They wanted to do music with me, and because, you know, I just didn't. Again, I didn't look at opportunity for what it was. I mean, how many people have I met in my lifetime that told me they were going to be huge? How many times
Right.
have I
Yeah,
said I was
same.
going to be? How many
Same.
times have I said I was going to be huge? How many
Yeah.
times have I barked up the same tree and told people, "Oh, I'm going to be famous this year"? It's because I believed it, and I still believe it. I'll still
Well, you were
believe
as
this
close
until
as
I'm
it gets, my
old.
guy. Time and time
They
again,
broke
Tell
you've
me
my
been as
ankle.
close
about
as it gets.
tell me about how you think writing what you want to write and being real in your music like you are affects your ability, you know, to get signed by a record label, because they don't always like artists to really write what they want to write about or put out what they want to put out.
Creativity, yeah. Their own creativity.
Well, back then, you know, it's the same as now. They're looking for artists who have they have they're creating some sort of noise. They don't even care if the music's good anymore. Like if I had five, which backpedal, like I'm happy where I'm at. Like shout outs to my manager Brendan L. Green. I'm with Majestic Entertainment. Like my whole outlook on music now is totally different. I'm
Yeah.
in complete. I've got all my eggs in one basket now. I'm 44, about to be 45 years old. You know, I just I'm not trying to get signed anymore unless it's God's will. And I'm ride or die with my band. Bigfoot is real. I'm not trying to be a rapper anymore. Like
Yeah, like
I
so
want to write music.
even with Bigfoot is real.
I just want to write music. So really on you know, Prince music, it's not even about being real anymore. It's about, you know, what are you willing to do for fame? At one
Dude, you've
time,
got Tupac's DJ on that's in your music group right now.
yeah.
He's got 7 million followers.
Well,
He's
he's close to
killer.
three. He had 3.1 million followers. I don't know what happened, but he lost like 200,000
I'd say
followers.
you made it if you got Tupac's DJ in your group. Bigfoot is real. It's kind of a big deal working with
No,
projects with you. That's insane.
well, I'm honored to be able to do that. But I've been doing this my
Bella,
whole career. Like
Tiffany.
I was good buddies with Bushwick Bill. You know, rest in peace, Bushwick Bill, the Ghetto Boys. Um, I've been friends with so many different musicians. Shout outs to Gemini. He did the I want to be real with the people that's being real with me. You know, I don't give two
Absolutely.
fucks about I don't give two fucks about the ones that ain't showing me no that don't treat me like I'm here. I don't, and I won't. Like if we ever get to the top, I won't even speak on these people because they don't act like I'm here, and that's okay. But shout outs to Gemini. He did the chorus for Tootsie Roll from the 69 Boys. He's one of my good friends. Gemini's always held me down. He's always supported me. Bushwick Bill always supported me, always believed in me. Rest in peace, Double R. He was Bone Thugs and Harmony's manager for 10 years.
Bone
You know,
Thugs, man.
rest in peace to him too. There's just so many people that I've done music with in my life that are dead. They're dead and
What's
gone.
what's your feelings about like so some of the names that stir around you as well is of course like and you know these people have heard all about it because I've been you know of course I'm gonna name drop but like Jelly, we've
Yeah.
got Corn, Head from Corn. I mean you've been attached and around and Ryan Upchurch actually as well is one of the highly known people that were on your thing. There's Head, all right.
What's
Nice.
up, church?
There's Ryan.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. For me,
what's misunderstood with you with them? If they were, you know, because we understand that some of these people have gotten busy and whatnot. If you wanted to like shout them out in any way, like or you know, say anything for that situation, what's to be said for that from Kaylee?
I mean, I don't have any issues with Upchurch. I live 6 minutes from him, so he lives
Yeah. Mhm.
three streets over from me. Um, I mean, we're not homeboys or nothing like that. We don't even talk. If he sees me out, he says what's up, but and I say what's up to him. But that's as far as it goes. It's just a business. What's up? Same for Jelly. I'm not homies with them. Like I've tattooed Jelly. You know, I did the back of Jelly's head, and I did the back of Jelly's head. I did the side of his neck, and I did one on his face too. I did up
And you
Church's
put some of the
hand.
music that they've had featured on your new album, correct?
Yeah, yeah. There's
Yeah.
a song with me, um, Adele.
It's insane.
There's another
It's
rapper
just
that's on it.
Adele.
I did the song with Adele before she was even in America.
Oh, wow.
I can't even
Yeah,
deal. You
nobody.
even know Tom McDonald, correct?
Yeah,
Like, God, dude,
yeah.
it's
But
like
a lot of these dudes,
yeah,
like I've known them way before they get famous, and you know, it's I'm not gonna be the way that a lot of these people have been towards me. If I ever get there, if I don't,
I understand.
I
if
believe that.
Yeah, I believe that
I won't
full-heartedly.
I won't ever be like that, because a lot of these
Yeah.
people I used to talk to all the time, and now they've got.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm not. This is not about Jelly. This is not about Tom. This is not about Upchurch. It's not about any of them people. This
None of
is
them, because it's more than that, right? Yeah.
it,
It
if the shoe fits, wear it. It's not about I'm not calling nobody out,
facts.
but a
Yeah,
lot of
because even
people,
in my life, I deal with that.
a lot of people,
I yeah.
they used to be cool with me, and now they don't act like I even exist. And that's why I named my new album "Living Legend." How quickly they forgot, because
There you go.
somebody had
Yeah.
posted up a picture, and it had all these rappers from Tennessee there, and a bunch of these jokers I never even seen before. And I'm like, how are you going to talk about Tennessee rappers when it comes to independent underground Tennessee rappers?
Right.
In my face, not be on it. Like, I
You're
said,
all
who is
over
that?
that history.
I was like, who is that? Yeah, but I was on. It
You're
even
like, "Who
goes way.
made these lists?"
It goes way deeper than that though, because I mean, for 7 years, I was Budget Breaks spokesperson. Like, they put me on the
Oh, really?
radio 55 times a day on 101.1, 107.5,
Hey, that's
Yeah.
my station right there.
105.9.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every
Really?
single ad from Budget Breaks at the end said, "Tell them Kaylee sent you." And that was on every single radio station in the
The
Middle Tennessee.
Nashville gem, I say it all the time, man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
how
You're
can
like a
you?
hidden gem, just
How
waiting
can
to
you?
come out.
How can somebody talk about rappers here, and 40% of the people that are on that sheet that they posted have never even sold 1,000 CD hard copies in their whole career?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've never been on TV. They've
Yeah.
never they've done a lot of shows. A lot of those guys. I'm not talking, like I said, I'm not talking about the ones that already made it. I'm talking about a lot of them that was on that poster that I don't even know who the hell they were. Like, I literally
Yeah.
could not name their names if my life depended on it. And I'm like, and they're on the top Tennessee underground rapper. Like, it rubbed me the wrong way. So I said, well, a lot of these dudes, man, that are on there, I've known since they were kids. Like,
Dude.
they used to hang at my house, and now they're famous. I'm not. To the right people, I'm famous, but to me, I'm not. You know, my life is good. My life is amazing. I love my life. I wouldn't take anything back.
Oh,
If
yeah.
I never made the bad choices that I made in my life,
Yeah.
I would not be who I am with God right now.
Well, speaking of which, that's what I was gonna ask you is you're strongly misunderstood, and I'm
I'm
sure of
gonna
this. I'm
go
sure
ahead
you
and
have
bomb you.
labels, you have tattoos on your face. Like, let's just talk about the elephant in the room which I think they look rad, by the way. You look sick, and it's more accepting nowadays. However, what's the biggest misunderstanding? What's the biggest misconception people have when they first look at you or what they think of you?
That I'm mean. Yeah, they assume
You
that
got a
I'm,
heart of gold.
which, you know, it's a 2023, so I don't care if people think I'm mean. I'm not trying to look mean. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not trying to do anything like that. Like, for me, I'm just being me. I am very, 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 very guarded because of how so many people have hurt me in my life. I'm a very
Yeah,
guarded individual.
I understand
My
that.
my circle's very small. I don't trust many
Yep.
people. I don't fuck with many people. I don't hang with anybody, and I don't. I used to though. I used to be the guy that had friends, and I used to be the guy that had a lot of homeboys, and I would go out and kick it with them. And you know, at one time, I was borderline famous on Facebook. Like, I
Mhm.
had a whole crew of people that when I started Alien Gang, they all came around. I got a lot of them off the streets. I
Yeah,
I helped a lot of them, you know, change their ways, and a lot of them found God. And
it's amazing.
we were online every week. We were getting over 1 million views every week. If you go to Facebook and type Kaylee and the Candyman show, you'll see that those videos line with 30, 40, 50, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 views, 75,000 comments,
Dang,
Who
dude.
was
14,000 shares. Like, we literally were all over Facebook. I
who
never
was
thought in a
Candyman?
years, I never thought in 1 million years that these people would stab me in the back and turn on me. I never,
Who was the candy man?
never,
Was he the guy with the long
the
gray
long,
hair?
yeah, that was my
I
best friend. I mean, he
I
lived with
remember
me.
you I remember you posting a video when he pissed himself or something.
Yeah. Well, we were everywhere. I mean, we were everywhere. We were everywhere. And I mean, I never thought that anybody in that camp of people would have ever hurt me like they hurt me. And
Sorry, dude. Sucks.
I had a $2 million contract that was waiting on me in New York City. And this was in 2018. Yeah, 2018, maybe the first of 2019. And I flew to New York City. Shout outs to Brendan L. Green. He's My manager has put a lot of money behind me. He believes in me. He believes the same way that you guys do. He believes the same way that I do.
Absolutely.
I know that I have something to offer the music business. I know that I have a mouthpiece that one day is going to touch the world, even if it's after I'm dead. My voice, my message, and what I lived for is going to live on for hundreds of years afterwards. I know that, but
Yeah.
I would like to see it um, while I'm alive. But I went to New York City, got there. The contract was bullshit. It wasn't what they had discussed. I got home, and my whole home flipped upside down on me. At the time, the person that um, I was with that I thought that cared about me had left. My best friend had left, and my assistant had left. They all left me at the airport. I had to
Jesus, dude.
Uber all the way home to find that they had all moved, never to talk to me again.
What was their issue?
I have
Why'd they
no
do
idea.
that?
To be honest, I don't know. Um,
Seems like a real shitty thing to do just for no like,
well,
like
I've
and
always
you're a
felt,
nice dude, man.
yeah, but I've always felt that this is all spiritual to me. This
Yeah,
isn't
you might be right.
It ain't. Well, I've tried to kill myself 12 times, guys, and You know, my mouth is very powerful. When I speak, people listen. When I speak, other things listen because I know who I am. And when I speak, I speak from a place of authority. So I always have felt that a lot of the heartache that I've went through in my life has been a setup for me to take my own life. And I know there's no doubt in my mind that without my mother's prayers, my mom's a pastor, without my mom's prayers, I would be dead.
Yeah, I was gonna
Or,
bring that up. I was gonna bring your mom up because your mom is a monumental piece of your finding religion. Shout out to Danny. Shout out to Ashley Mercer in the house. Nye Johnson, how you doing? I grew up with Niqua since I was a kid. She used to live with me at one point in New York. Um, so Bella, all these people, we just want to say hi to everybody. We are checking you guys out on the comments as you come in. If you have any questions, let them know. But we're gonna let him jump back into talking about his mom right now and really how she really helped transition him and change his life to to go to God.
well, and what I was saying about just real quick about how, my mom, I've always believed in prayer, but I guess I never understood like how powerful it really is when, I've had a lot of close calls in my life, a lot of close calls. Um,
Mhm.
Wrecks I've been in that in 2009, I was rollerblading in a park and um, I went down a hill and I was doing about 20 miles an hour. I wasn't even trying to hurt myself.
Oh,
And
wow.
I come around a corner, I hit a bad patch of asphalt.
Shit,
Um,
that's your fault.
I I wrecked, hit the back of my head on the concrete. It gave me
Damn.
5 bulging discs in my neck. It broke my wrist. It gave me a hematoma on my brain. Um, I lost my memory for a whole year from that. I had a grapefruit size blood hematoma on my brain. Um,
God.
they ran MRIs and CAT scans in my brain, and I'm I have a hole in my face from where my glasses broke off into my face. I
Oh
my
my God, dude.
I had a
Damn.
40 caliber
I'm like in
pistol.
there.
Yeah, I had a 40 caliber pistol that flew out of my pocket, and it could have shot me, but it didn't. And
Wow.
when I was in the hospital, they said we did MRIs, CAT scans on you, and there's nothing wrong with your brain. And they said we don't understand because you obviously have trauma. I had 2 raccoon eyes, which is a sign of brain damage. I had blood blisters that was popping up all over my neck. That's a sign of brain damage. Um, they released me with all
Yeah.
these wounds and all these injuries and said, your brain is fine. I
Wow.
I got
See, so I guess we're already getting trolls that are coming in. None of these people reflect mine for sure. So,
fuck them. They can stay.
I guess
Fuck
you have
'em.
to
Yeah.
deal with that a lot. I guess that's something that you also had to deal with is the bullshit that you get behind your like vanity reasons.
Yeah,
We
but
don't pay no
that's
mind to
that's
anything like that.
that's part of it. It's part of
Yeah,
it. I
man.
can't see what anybody's posting, so it really don't matter.
All right.
But
Well, it don't matter.
I
You're right.
literally, I had so many different things happen in my life to where, um, I'll tell y'all, I'll tell y'all another story that happened to me. This is a story of faith and what happens if you're not truly listening to what God's telling you. And
Yeah.
I'd say 12 years ago, I was diagnosed with kidney disease and gallbladder disease. Um, my mom put me on an international prayer list. I was supposed to have my kidney removed and my gallbladder removed. I had 103
Damn.
fever. I was sick, real sick. I was sweating constantly. I couldn't stop sweating. And I had ultrasounds, and the surgeon was ready to remove those organs. I went to bed and I woke up completely healed. Um, I stopped drinking caffeine and started taking care of my body. And I think maybe 5 years I went with no caffeine. I drank mostly just water. I took care of myself. I started missing the taste of soda and Red Bull and Monster and all
Oh
that.
yeah.
So I just honestly, for some reason, thought that maybe God would let it slide. So I
Mm.
started drinking a little bit of soda here and there, a little bit of energy drinks here and there, and um, so for the last 10 years, I guess maybe for 5 or 6 years, I've been back drinking caffeine again. So I got real sick about 3 months ago. Now keep in mind, God completely healed me. Surgeons and doctors verified proof that there was nothing wrong with my kidneys or nothing wrong with my gallbladder.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
And
beautiful.
amazing.
but listen to
Love
this
that.
though. This is proof right here what happens when you fuck up.
I like.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
I got back into drinking caffeine and doing things that my body just didn't need me to do. I got real sick. I went to the hospital, went to Vanderbilt maybe 3 months ago. The doctor said, do you know that your left kidney is dead? And it made me cry. I was like, no, I didn't know that. He said, your left kidney is completely atrophy. It's shriveled up and it's died inside of your body. This is the same kidney that God healed 12 years ago. So, and he goes, and your other kidney's not 100%. And you have a stone stuck in it. And you
Wow.
have a stone stuck in your gallbladder. And I was like, wow.
Wow.
I said, my negligence on the healing that God gave me, he reversed it. Because I guess I didn't appreciate what he had done for me. So now I have one kidney now, and I have to figure out how I'm going to not lose the other one. Um, so at some point, I'm sure I'm going to have to go take that kidney out because it's dead in my body. But I only told you all that just because that's the life I live. The life I live is based on learning, fucking up, making mistakes, learning, fucking up, making mistakes, learning. I constantly make bad decisions. I constantly learn, and I'm supposed to be growing. Life is supposed to be about um, making mistakes and then learning from your mistakes and letting those mistakes make you a better human being. It's not about
Right.
if you fuck up, because we're all going to fuck up. We're all in some way, shape, or form lost pieces of shit that need a savior. Every one of us.
Absolutely.
None
Agreed.
none of us are perfect. None of
Yeah.
us are right. People, oh, I'm right. I'm right. No, you're not. You're not right. And the day that people admit it, like, I know that I'm not right. I know that I'm not okay. I know that um I'm fucked up here. I know that I may be a little crazy. I know that I'm not where I want to be. None of that means anything if you're not learning from your mistakes. If you're learning from your mistakes and it's making you a better human being, then by all means keep fucking up, but just learn from it. It can make us a better people, and we can learn from it and never do it again. But most people
Right.
don't learn from the mistakes that we make. And that's why we have people ODing in this country. That's why we have people committing
Absolutely.
crimes in this country, because they didn't learn the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time. It's easy to go out
Agreed.
and do that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's easy to go out and commit
Well,
crime.
speaking of, Ashley
It's
just said,
sometimes
Ashley Mercer, Ashley Mercer's in. She's watching all the way from Canada right now, and she said to tell you that exactly nobody's perfect. She was also the one that was saying you can't trust no one. Like, you know, she's saying that she has those same issues too. And I find it interesting, like when we talk about regrets and accomplishments, because that's really what this is. That's a story of like most of our lives, right? But yours, you've got it's very embellished. I've never met anyone that supersedes my stories, and you by numbers beat mine. My question is, I'm about to introduce your music video here. So tell me a little bit about the two videos that we chose.
It was Ride
Um,
Out was the first one.
Ride Out was the first one. So we're gonna roll with I think we're gonna do the second one first. So it's the one with the female, the abuse, because that really hit me hard. So I kind of want to talk about that one, and I want to play that one. That was a real big trigger for me. But before I
You know,
click on to that, tell me
you
about
know,
the thought concept behind it.
well, you should. I'm just being real because we've been talking about betrayal and we've been talking about being stabbed in the back. Playing Ride Out would be very, very perfect
All
right
right, so
now.
Ride Out.
That
Alright,
Alright.
entire that
let's do
Cue
it.
entire
that one
song.
up.
Well, that entire song was a fuck you song to all the people that turned on me. It was
Okay.
a secret diss song, if you will, to all those people that called me brother. You know, I've stopped over
Yeah.
80 suicides in my lifetime. I've led over 1,000
Oh,
people to
wow.
God in my lifetime.
It's amazing.
1,000 people that I went out of my way to reach because I cared about their soul. I went out of my way to stay on the phone with these people when they
Yeah.
had guns put to their head, only to have a lot of these people stab me in the back later on after they know. I've had people give me bullets that was going to go in their guns, that was going to go in their brains. And I stopped them and they credited me with their life, only to have these same people stab me in the back. I put the word stabbed all the way across my back in red ink dripping down my back. Like
Wow.
it's a shame. I'm a
What do
good
you want the
person.
world to know
It's
about you,
real.
like, when it comes down to, the music with this? Like, what do you want people to know about this song? What do you wanna leave them feeling?
Everybody feels this way. Everybody's been betrayed. Every person's felt like I know you never loved me. I know you never cared about me. Everybody's felt that. That's why I started Alien Gang in 2011. Alien Gang stands for anyone lost in Earth's neglect, giving anyone needing guidance love. I
Love
Oh,
felt
that.
wow.
like my entire life. I've called my fans aliens, which anyone lost in Earth's neglect. You felt neglected from society. You felt like
Yeah.
nobody loves you. You felt like you've got
Different.
nobody that cares about you, nobody that wants to support you, nobody that feels your pain, nobody that understands what you've gone through, nobody feels like they care. That's what the fuck I felt. So I felt like only a handful of people loved me and cared about me, my mother being one, and a handful of others, my wife and my children, and a few others. Shout outs to
Mhm.
my guys at the tattoo shop. There's not too many people that I truly feel that love me. God spoke to me one day, plain as day, guys. And he said to me, he said, Keenan, do you know how you know if you have a real friend? And I said, how was that, God? He said, the person that you're in question about, if they would get up out of bed in their drawers out of a deep sleep and
That's
come and
us.
help you change a tire on the interstate at 3 a.m. That's a real friend. And
Absolutely.
I couldn't name
100% agree.
at that time in my life, I couldn't name any that I know that would do that for me. And
These two right here.
there's a ton that call me friend and I wouldn't do that for them. That's pretty intense when you go, if someone called me right now on the phone and I'm in a dead sleep in my drawers, in bed, comfortable, in the middle of the night and it's cold outside, would I really get up and go to the interstate knowing I got to drive there and get on my hands and knees and help them change their tire. That's a real friend. And how many of us have those people? There ain't many.
We are those people. That's what I was just
We
sitting
s-
there. That's why we were looking at each other. We are those people, and
But you know what I'm saying?
unfortunately, we've gotten.
That's
But like what I was going to say to you is, we got played in return. We got those people that we did that for. We're not even friends with today. Why? Because we were taken for granted. We were just expected to show up at 3 in the morning and solve all their problems and be there for them. And we were expected to, and they own 4 businesses, and they thought like, they felt like the big, like, kingpins over here in Clarksville, and I don't care who you are. I have plenty of friends that have a lot of celebrity relevance, but I don't give a shit about that either. What I care about is how you treat me,
yeah,
because you can go and exit my life just as fast as you came in if you're going to think you can run over my good heart. I'm an empath by nature. I would, when I tell you, Kaylee, like when I tell you that I would go down the road to your shop in a minute if you needed me to and help you out, I would. But it's, our issue was always who was going to be there to do it back. Like we've never
yeah.
had the return of that, but we accepted that.
we spend
Well,
more
but
time on the side of the road helping people we don't know. I'm a
yeah,
retired firefighter from White House.
Right. And I'm a
yeah,
veteran. You know that I'm 100% disabled veteran. I gave up, I gave up my music career, as you and I talked about, to go into the army back in 2003, which is a 20-year, different. Like today, standing here today, that's 20 years ago that I joined the army during heavy wartime. But the thing about I loved about you, and why you had to be first, as I told you, you had to be the first person on my show because of what you inspired me to be, which I am a woman of faith. I am a woman of God. Everybody that's in my friend panel, no matter what they believe, I've always respected them for what they choose. But I've always been very clear of where I stand. What I loved about you was I had just recently had gotten this accepted offer to co-host on this said, we'll say said place. And it was putting just a lot of just a lot of things that I didn't represent, and
Wrong
you saw it
message.
too. You saw it too. You shook the same way I did, saying, "This doesn't feel right." And that's exactly how I felt too. I wanted to do it. I wanted to do this, but I didn't want to negotiate my representation to Jesus, my representation to my faith. And it was very hard because I liked all the people there enough. That was fine. But what I found though, as soon as I said that, as soon as I stood up for my religious beliefs, guess what happened? He blocked me. Like he
yeah,
got mad at me because I didn't stay with him and do his thing. And he threw a temper tantrum because he was like, this is all about image. This is just for image. It's not about image when it comes to that. Like, you can't sit there and say you were a Sunday
Fake.
school teacher and like had faith and this, that, and the other, and then turn around in the other breath and say that you're talking about your own community. He was like talking down on them. He was just like basically saying, screw them. He was like, they're rude. They're some of the most evil, selfish people I've ever met. And I'm like, well, this is your community, though. You boxed yourself in this. I
yeah,
don't want that. I want everyone to come to the table, no matter what you believe, across the board. And I want you to be like welcomed with love,
yeah,
because that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's the right thing to do. We're fruit inspectors on this earth, we are not the crucifiers.
yeah,
We'd be no better than the people that did what he did, what they did to Jesus. But thank
yeah.
God Jesus did that for us, because we wouldn't have a pot to piss in with our sins, you know?
And
What do
I
you always say?
my shop, even like it is, I used to run a Christian tattoo shop, and I used to
Yeah.
not. I used to not. I mean, I have been through so much in my life to get to where I'm at right now. Like it's unreal. Like I used to be a guy that thought smoking weed was wrong. I used to think that cussing was wrong. I used to think that you had to be in church every
Yeah.
Sunday or you were going to go to
No.
hell. Like I literally
Yeah.
believed all this stuff because,
No. Yeah.
well, but I
It's
believed it
about the
because,
love in your heart.
but I believed it because I was living it then. Like I believed
I
it.
get it. Yeah.
It wasn't that I was trying to be better than anybody else because I wasn't. I just really believed that way. So my tattoo shop, people cussed, I would kick them out.
Oh
So I had people,
gosh.
they would come in and they would cuss, and I go, don't cuss in my shop, man. And they would be, I'm sorry. And then
But you
all
were
of a
still
sudden,
finding your way, right? You were still trying to find your
well,
comfort and your way within this.
at that time,
And you
I
were
was,
trying to be wicked obedient.
well, check it out. At that time in my life, I was making $2,000 to $5,000 a week. Um, I felt pretty much like I was on top of the world. I had anything that I wanted. I owned 5 cars. I had 2 houses. I felt that was around the time that all this stuff musically was happening, where I thought, man, I'm doing good. Like, life is good. So in a way, I felt better than some people. So I really didn't, it didn't bother me. And then my life just took a turn for the worst. You know, it all started with me making one bad decision, and that one bad decision cost me just about everything that I owned then, and I ended up homeless. And um,
It's just insane to look where you are right now, though, because like
well,
you're
I'll tell y'all,
you're
I'll
amazing.
tell
You're
you
doing
something right
amazing.
now. I'll tell y'all something right now. Y'all don't even know about me, but
Yeah.
just 3 years ago, I was sleeping on the concrete. I had $0 in my bank account.
Wow.
I was completely homeless, no bed, no food. I literally didn't know where my next dollar was going to come from. I didn't tell my mother. I didn't tell fans. I had fucked up so bad that it put me in a place like that. I was evicted where I was living. I literally had nothing but just the clothes on my back and my children, which is all I ever needed. But I went 4.5 months completely homeless. Some days I only ate bread. It's just I just think about what I've got now and where I'm at now.
Breaks
Just
my
it's
heart
crazy.
because I was just in Nashville and downtown seeing, like, we were just talking yesterday about how many homeless are in the street. And I always try to help as many as I can, but like, the reality is it's not even safe to carry cash around in the world like this
I'll be
today.
honest, guys. I sat with nobody to talk to. I couldn't reach out to fans. I couldn't reach out to anybody. Nobody knew. I
Sorry.
plotted. I sold all my guns then to just survive. I bought food with the money. That lasted maybe a month or two. It got down to the point where I didn't have any money to buy food. So days I went with eating 2 or 3 pieces of bread. I'd get a can of cold soup and I would drink the cold soup. Um,
Wow.
I promise, guys, this is 2019. But before this business opened up here that I now am blessed with. But
That's sad.
I
Just so
plotted
glad
to
that
well, I plotted to cut my own throat with a machete. And
damn, you were gonna do it big. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to sound insensitive. I've talked to so many people dealing with this.
it's
I'm a
all I had.
veteran myself. That's
It's all it's all I had though. Because
so sorry.
I didn't have a gun to shoot myself with. So it was crazy. I felt like God just dropped me off like in the woods, like just dropped me off. I had people that were words started getting around that I was homeless, and so people started mocking me. They started making fun of me on social media. I didn't say nothing to nobody. I just literally just said, fuck all of y'all. Y'all don't know where I'm at. Y'all don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
My mom called because God called her, or God literally told her, you need to call Keenan. So she called me and said, Keenan, what's going on? I said, what do you mean? She said, God told me something was wrong and I need you to tell me. Let me put my phone on the charger before it dies. Give me a second.
No problem.
She said,
You know what? While you do that, I'll give you that chance to do that. I'll just play your song real quick, and that'll give you a second to recharge, and then we can finish talking about the story because
well, no,
that's pivotal.
I got a portable charger, but you can go ahead and play the video too.
All right, because that's just absolutely pivotal, and I want you to keep that pin in that. That's important, like because a lot of people are facing that today. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna take a short break
Well,
while we play that. While we
that's
take our
why I figured. Yeah, that's why I said that song is more suiting.
yeah,
Even playing my song Karma, my video for
yeah,
Karma is pretty intense. That's a song that I
yeah. You
wrote
guys
during
got
the
to check
time of
out his
me.
albums, man. You got to check out his albums. He's on Apple. He's on, I believe, Spotify too. Correct? You're on everything pretty much, right?
And I wanna explain something. Yes, ma'am. I want to explain something. Like I literally have I have 16 albums. I have done rock. I have rock songs out. I've done a song with Head from Corn. The only rapper that's ever done a song with Head from Corn.
I know, dude.
I have metal
Dude, I've
music.
got to meet
I
Korn,
was in
man.
3 rap metal bands.
I'm so excited that
And
you
I
got
have
to work
Christian
with him. I'm
albums,
such a fan. Such a fan, dude.
Yeah, I did the 5 music notes on his face.
No, really?
Yeah.
Badass.
Yeah, you can go to YouTube and type Kaylee Tattoos Head from Corn. And you can also type Kaylee Tattoos Jelly Roll. And you can see me tattooing them. I've tattooed more celebrities than anybody in the state of Tennessee.
Gucci Berry.
Gucci Berry, Ryan Up
So
Church.
many,
Yeah, you really
I've
have some
tattooed
people.
tons of country stars. Michael Ray, I did a ton of tattoos on him. Craig Campbell, Low Cash, they've got 5 Grammys. The band Perry, country rappers, the Lax, FJ
Damn, dude.
Outlaw. I did his face and his neck. Fraser Boy. There's just so many. Caleb Plant, he's the former middleweight champion of the world that was fighting Canelo on the pay-per-view recently.
You met Kane
I
Brown.
did 5 tattoos on him. There's just so many people.
You met Kane Brown as well. I saw
from
like
all
that
walks
was
of life.
that was a badass meetup. I like Kane Brown.
Yeah. I won a contest. I'm just saying, so many failures in my life, man.
But so many accomplishments too. Like I don't want people to get this misunderstanding because
Right
if you really go and look at his
before-
life,
this
it's a merit
what's
of
crazy.
hold on, it's a merit of like
I became homeless. I won a contest with 84 million people to go to pop.
That's insane, dude.
That is.
I don't know where your sound went, buddy. Are you still on there? Check with me. I talk. Say something. Can you hear me? All right. It looks like it's kind of doing
Yes, maybe
something
go ahead.
off. We're gonna go ahead and take a short break real quick. We're gonna play the video and oh, there he is. He's popping back in.
Popping back in.
We're gonna give him a second to get himself right back in there with the Wi-Fi, but we're gonna play his song right quick.
Hello?
Ride Out. Yep, we hear you. We can hear you. We're gonna go ahead and play your song real quick. We're gonna play Ride Out, just because it was losing you for a second, so that'll give everybody to catch up in real time and get you to refresh. So we'll be right back.
Can you hear me?
We're just gonna play his song. Y'all are gonna enjoy it. It'll be on the screen for you to watch as well. So go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear
we
you.
can hear
I
you
got
now.
you now.
I hear
We got
you.
you now. Yeah, you're back.
Yeah.
You had a little second, but you're fine. Live TV, right? All right, here we go. All right, here we go. We're back.
Yeah, anybody afraid? Hey, what's up, homie? Right now? Send me a picture.
Yeah. They try to get close, they ride out. Get close, they roll, motherfucker. They fake, put that on my soul. Come around and they ride out. Ride out, feel the heat, then you hide out. Hide out, they try to get close, they ride out. Get close, they roll, motherfucker. They fake, put that on my soul. Come around and they ride out. Ride out, feel the heat, then you hide out. Hide out, bitch. Blood on my hands, I don't think so, you a fucking hoe. Down south, mama didn't raise no bitch ass, you a come and go. Tall grass in the fucking snow, I still see where that's gon' go. You talk shit, don't mean shit, I suck clip, you suck dick, bitch. Till the wheels fall, you a fake ass like a training bra. Motherfucker, you lie, don't ever call. Swallow your pride and prepare to fall. It's a long way down, I fucking know. 10 years broke in a rabbit hole. All of my emotions, they bottled up like sin. You're fucking with the wrong one, can't believe you did this. Yeah, can't believe you did this. But I won't stoop to a devil unless you push my buttons. I don't do this for nothing, get hurt if they try to get close, they ride out. Get close, they roll, motherfucker. They fake, put that on my soul. Come around and they ride out. Ride out, feel the heat, then you hide out. Hide out, they try to get close, they ride out. Get close, they roll, motherfucker. They fake, put that on my soul. Come around and they ride out. Ride out, feel the heat, then you hide out. Hide out, bitch. That's all I got. Walk around with this pain. Stepped a ball in my back. Let us watch that shit drain. I done felt all I can. Pistol all in my hand. Do they know I'm the man? I'm not shit. They talk a real solid game. Fuck them, they know my name. They know my brand the same. Then they piss on my fame. Shit. They fucked up and they know it, now they going through it. They was my homies, but now they blew it. Money getting to it. My destiny, you fucking child, stop testing me. You a pest to me, get a little bit mental. What's left of me? You fuck with me, I'm alone with no company. You fuck with me, I'm alone with no motherfucking company. They try to get close, they ride out. Get close, they roll, motherfucker. They fake, put that on my soul. Come around and they ride out. Ride out, feel the heat, then you hide out. Hide out, they try to get close, they ride out. Get close, they roll, motherfucker. They fake, put that on my soul. Come around and they ride out. Ride out, feel the heat, then you hide out. Hide out, bitch.
Dude, wow. Let me unmute you here. All right, we're unmuting the mic. Hold on 1 second. We're getting you unmuted here, buddy. All right. Remove from studio. There you go. There you go. Put him back. All right. Sound check. Let's go. You in there?
You hear us?
You hear us? You got a thumbs up? Where'd he go? Where'd our guy go? There you are. There you are. All right. All right. Kaylee might be having a couple of. Hold on. He might be jumping back in. All he has to do is just follow the link back in if he has to jump. There you go. There you are. You in with us? He's on a fro scene. Man, that was dope.
So it's good.
Oh my God, dude. His music is raw. Where's he at? Where you at, man? All right, while we're trying to get him figured out, we're gonna go ahead and get him back in the studio. So hold on 1 second. But yeah, I mean, just listening to his music, this guy is he's a raw person. He's honest with his music. He's honest with who he is. Oh, and I see him. I see him. Can you
He's trying.
try to talk, man?
He's trying.
Yeah, I don't think
There you are.
it's me, guys.
No, you got
'Cause
it.
I have two.
It does it
What?
from time to time.
I
We can hear you now.
have two Wi-Fi. Yeah, I have two Wi-Fi boxes. I
Your
have
money
really
wherever
good
you're sitting right now.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in that big old shop of yours, man. That big old nice shop of yours. They need to check you out over there if they want to get some real ink done. You know my
Hello?
girl CJ too, don't you? You know my girl CJ, don't you? CJ Johnson?
Yeah, I don't know if
Christina
it's, I don't know if it's
She's on
me
your
or if it's the.
Oh, you're good now. We can hear you good now. You're great. Oh, we're great. Yeah, we're back on, Rod. We're solid in. So that song, like, take me back. Let's just jump right back in. So that song that you just did right there, that was to
The name
basically to
sounds
all the
familiar.
haters that. Oh, for Christine? Yeah, she's on your friends list, so you know her for sure. She's a tattoo artist. She's been on the cover of Ink magazine. She got dreads. She got a wife. She's a real cool girl. She goes by CJ. But she did all my she's done all my ink really, like pretty much. So that's the rapture right there, my guy. We're the birds. But I'm gonna be having you mess with some ink on me too, since we're gonna be going down that way to see you. But let's talk about that video, dude. Like, cause I mean it was really
Awesome.
cool. Like I like the ending. Like you're like, like tell me what your character was supposed to represent there for the music video. Oh no. Go ahead.
Looks like he dropped up there. Let
Looks
me.
like we're gonna have to re-invite him in. It's okay. I'll just send him another invite in, and it'll be fine. This is what we do. It's all good. All right. Hold on. Let's see here. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and send him another. Like, he could just drop. He just drop in on the link right there. And it'll be fine.
Sorry,
See.
folks, got some technical difficulties.
Well, it
here.
always happens too. It happens to the best of them. I've seen it happen on 100 stations. So it's just it happens. So let's see here. Let's see what we got. We'll pick them right back up. Um, but yeah, so this guy, his like what I love about him is how raw he is, how honest
There he
he is, how real he's been. Here, we're gonna drop him back in. He's on. We're in.
Hey,
There's my guy.
guess what?
Perfect.
What?
What?
My Wi-Fi wasn't on the whole time.
That's what it was. All right.
Well, it was my actual it was my AT&T bullshit service. That's what that was.
Oh,
We got it
shoot,
too.
my guy.
It's like a whole new world right
Yeah,
now.
because I'm
Yes.
thinking, I'm like, dude, I pay $100 and something a month for Wi-Fi, and I'm like, this
Us
it don't
too.
matter. My shop's got Wi-Fi box on that end and on this end, and it's fast no matter where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
So I was
Cell
like,
phones and
something's
internet,
right.
we give AT&T like over $500 a month.
Yeah,
So
no joke.
Well, I pay five phone bills a month, so I understand that.
So you do understand that, yeah? Because I
Same
got two
story.
teenage boys, and really we got three teenagers, honestly, right now. And but yeah, so my son, I was telling you a little about him. My oldest, my 27-year-old, he's been in some music videos, and he went to NIADA. He went to NYAADA. That's the New York City Academy for American Dramatic Arts. Real expensive to go there. I'll be telling that story at some point in life, but yeah, the Illuminati kind of tried to take him down. He was dating a girl who's now a supermodel. She's still on my Facebook friends, back from when they were dating. And it was just an insane story. But like they basically tried to take him out because he wouldn't join the Illuminati. So like, but that is real.
They're
That is
out
a
there.
real that is a real thing.
They're out there.
And that is a real entity, and they will you got to be careful what you're doing and slipping into this music industry, because you just never know. I want to talk to you about your music video a little bit. I want to redirect it back to that because I really wanted you to break that down, because like it's insane the character you chose, the way you made yourself be. What was your goal to what was your vision for this video?
Well, you asked about what did the guy represent that
Yes.
Well, that's a good friend of mine. His name is Santiago Cirillo. He was on The Walking Dead season 4 and 5.
Nice.
If you look up Zombie Headhunter, Sir Santiago, he's even got figurines from The Walking Dead of his
I
face.
probably watched it. I was a huge fan. I actually talked to Negan.
He lives in Pleasant View, just right up the street.
Okay.
Oh, no kidding.
Exit
Yeah,
24.
I needed somebody who could represent someone who poses to be something that they aren't. So I had him come down to play that role, and basically he came in here in the shop posing as somebody who was my friend, but we found out that he wasn't, and so I killed him. But I killed him by way of tattooing, and then I cut his throat with a meat cleaver.
I love that.
Love it.
I love it.
I love
That's
it.
genius. You
I love a good story in a song.
Yeah, and that's the meat and potatoes is like I always tell anyone that I'm interviewing, like the biggest thing is taking on messages that are going to really impact this world because we have a lot of stories that people aren't brave enough to tell yet, or they're afraid to tell those stories. So when somebody gets out there and writes about that or the domestic violence that you had going on in that one where she's looking, I think it's at her daddy. Where'd you go, buddy? You blacked out on us. You there? There you go.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Yeah, my wife,
All
she
right,
There we
texted
cool.
me and said I love you, so I have to tell her I love you.
Aw. Shout out to your wife. You know, you have a beautiful family, by the way. That is something to be said. And you know, when you have a strong backbone and your wife is your strong backbone, and I know that I can tell by the way you speak on her. She cooked you some good meals I got to see since we've been friends
Yeah,
now.
we've been through so much.
I love it. I love that. That's the best kind, you know. Nick is like this is my second time around in marriage as well. My first time wasn't so great, but we're good friends not living together, you know, like the father of my children, we're all great friends, which is great because that's a rare thing. But I will tell you that like, you know, that journey there, like you're meant to your person, I believe God gives you your person. Like, you know, I don't think there's any other way for it for what we believe in. And
Yeah.
God gave me this man. He's very patient, kindest guy I've ever met. I am 100% disabled veteran with like PTSD issues and everything else, and he's very nurturing to that. You really have to find someone that's willing to nurture you and you can nurture them back and have a selfless thing. It's like once you know you're truly in love, and people always think they know what it is, but you don't even want to look at anybody else. You know, it's not even a temptation because
Yeah.
you find your person that's just your person. So I encourage anyone that's in relationships, don't force yourself to stay in something that you don't want to be in. If it feels wrong, it's wrong.
I always respected all of your Facebook posts and things like that. Like, feel comfortable coming into my tattoo shop. I'm not gonna holler at your girl or anything like that,
You know,
because
there's men that
there are so many tattoo artists out there that are just sleazebags.
peace.
Or so many
They're
people,
peace.
You know.
people, no matter what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Like it
Can
don't
y'all hear me?
matter. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
perfectly.
Yeah, I've never been that guy. Like, there's a lot of husbands that send their wives for me to tattoo because they know I'm not going to try to sleep with them. That's not who I am. That's not my MO. That's not who we are. I make it apparent to all of my guys that work here, we don't play that shit. So we don't do that. We don't
Keep
do
it
that.
professional, yeah. Yeah, professional.
That's why you're on the top.
And that's why you are. It's exactly like
Mhm.
when I tell you guys that this guy is like, when we play this back and you're watching this, you know, if you miss this, like, don't you worry. We're going to have all of this here and stamped for you. We're going to have this for Kaylee stamped for him so that he can give this to his family, his friends, his kids looking in the forward so that you can remember that you have done a lot, that you have succeeded in where many have failed. Even though you think that some of those things are your failures, those are your successes as well. You have done more with your life, okay, than most people I know like would ever dream to embark. And I know that you're tough on yourself.
Perseverance builds character.
We're our own biggest critics.
You
We
know.
always want to go more and set the boundaries. You've exceeded yourself. There's rumors swirling that you're actually considering doing a tattoo show that's pretty famous out there for competitions.
Yeah,
Is that true?
they've already turned me down again.
Again?
Yeah.
Well, well, you
Yeah,
know what?
it's
I will tell you
hey,
this.
listen to me. It's okay. I will speak on that since you brought that up.
Yeah.
I signed a 50-page contract with Spike TV to be on season 2 of Ink Master. That is a fact. And I was good friends with the director, the host, the executive producer of that show at the time. He's no longer the executive producer, but I was good friends with the executive producer. And I flew to Miami to meet them. Like, I was there. I was on the show. They loved the fact that, and how I got into tattooing. I was a full-time rapper. My mom had a dream that I was supposed to be a tattoo artist. I never wanted to be a tattoo artist. I still don't.
Oh,
I don't wake up thinking
wow.
about tattoos.
Yet
I
you're
went,
so successful in it. It's so amazing. You
It's
just
well,
crazy.
I
launched a
just
coloring book.
I just did it. I just did it for God. Like it'd be like going to sleep and waking up, and you could do 360 dunks, and you go try out for the NBA and you make it. You would never have a thought in a million years that you would be doing something like that, but now you're in the NBA. So it's kind of like that with me. Like I never wanted to be a tattoo artist, never thought about being a tattoo artist, never dreamed of being a tattoo artist. It's just not something that ever crossed my mind. My mom called. She said, I had a dream that you were supposed to be a tattoo artist and you were really good at it. She said, I think you ought to pursue it. Well, I only knew one person who was in tattooing, and I went to him and said, my mom had a dream that I was supposed to be a tattoo artist. I need to see if this is true. So he sent me home with a tattoo machine and some gear and said, I want you to tattoo some fruit. And that night, I cut my boy's arm to pieces. I didn't know what I was doing. I pulled.
Shredded it like a meat. Yeah, you pressed too
I
hard.
wasn't.
Yeah,
No,
man.
I had the needle out like a half inch. I,
Oh my God.
I didn't know. Like I wasn't supposed to be doing
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
I was so proud of how I butchered him. Like so proud of it. I went back the next day and I said, look at what I've done.
I
And
bet
my
he's got the
mentor,
most famous tattoos from you.
man, my mentor who's now dead, rest in peace to him. But he looked at me and said, Kaylee, I never told you to tattoo on skin. I said, I know, but I had to do it. I had to just see. I went through 3 rolls of paper towels in one tattoo. That's how bad I cut this guy to pieces. So,
Man.
I mean,
They called you Shredder. They called you Shredder.
I messed him up. So
It's
he
called the
backed up,
blood bus.
taught me a bunch, and 6 weeks later, I was tattooing for a living.
Oh,
Never,
wow.
never thought I'd ever be tattooing. Never thought I'd be good at it. Now I've tattooed 35,000 plus tattoos. 18 years as a master tattooist, and I have 14 awards, and
And your
based on
shop.
that's only based on 5 competitions. I've only
So
been to.
what's up with Murfreesboro? So like let's talk about the ancients like and what's going on there. I noticed that you had to do a live addressment not too long ago to, to some people. Like what's your thoughts and feelings? Like what are these people stirring your like why were they compelling you? Like it seems like you got some haters. How do you
Well,
want to address them? How would you want to address them outright so that they can like what is their misunderstanding? What's the disconnect that's going on with them?
I'm real
These
and they're
people.
not. I'm real and they're not. I'm happy they're
That's usually
not.
what it is.
Yeah.
I'm happy they're not. I love life. They hate themselves. I used to hate myself. I don't hate
Is it
myself
jealousy? Do
anymore.
you think it's jealousy by all the
Of course.
mounting success that you've
I
done?
mean,
Because
come
that's what I've
on. I
seen.
mean, I'm 44 years old, still dreaming the same dreams, and half these people, get up and go work for somebody else, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they get up and they go work for somebody else. Their life has absolutely no drive whatsoever. Their entire life consists of them getting a paycheck and drinking a beer when they get home. My life consists of me wanting to reach the whole fucking world. I want to
That's
impact
right.
the whole
Yeah.
world. I want to
Yeah.
touch the world.
Absolutely.
I want to change
Yeah.
people's lives. I want to stop people from killing themselves. I want to stop
Yes.
people from ODing off drugs. Most people don't give 2 shits about ever doing that, and they never will. They're not
No
me.
shit.
They don't.
What's the biggest advice that you would give to them? So if you had a moment to have a real moment with these people and break down the anger walls, if you guys wanted to like let's set all the shit aside and let's say that Kaylee wants to tell you something real, like something real from his heart. What advice would you give these people that, that would probably help them from targeting you for anger? Like what would you
I
give
mean,
them? What would the heart message be?
give your life to Jesus and get off my dick.
I think I think you living the life and what you've gone through, it's a testament that no matter how
Love him.
bad things get, you can turn it around and change things quickly.
Well,
No, but seriously, like
it's
if
all
you don't
about
want
your
them to like
drive.
let's say, like, see, my biggest thing, my growth, okay? I used to be the person that had the funniest joke in the room, okay? Like, but and I still do. I still tend to have that. But when I think about the people that I mean, I've been stalked. I've had like, I'm on a platform where I had like a lot of following, and in that world it made like it was a big deal there. In that world, people like looked at me like, "Oh my god, like, you're doing all these great things. You're LS Queen Char over here." And I did a lot of amazing things with that world. Some people took it too far, though. It doesn't matter what element you're on. I had stalkers come to my house with hackers, underground dark web people sending me videos of actually killing people and cutting them up and saying
Crazy,
they're
man.
coming for me. Like, this is the kind of stuff. I had people tell me that I should have died in Iraq so I could be with my dead daughter. I mean, I've had all this just because I was successful. And I was only successful by being myself, like you said, just driven in the right way and treating people with respect and loving, my artists that were singing with me was the biggest way to represent myself truly, and to be humble, and to always be kind to everybody. That's just how I've learned to be after war. After war, it seems like you don't want to pick a fight as much anymore. I've seen it. I've been boots in the sand. I've seen people die. I've seen people go home in a bag. I've seen, I live in Fort Campbell area. I still deal with friends that get calls from their friends that have shot themselves in front of them on FaceTime, and because they can't deal with the storylines anymore. So what I was saying to you is, like, if you put all of the anger down, if you put all like, because all of their words hurt people, that. So what would you really want to say to them if you had a moment and you happen to be standing there in front of Jesus? You can't really say, "Get off my dick." What would you really want to say to them? Like, I would say, like, the thing that I thought was, focus on yourself. Stop worrying about what other people are doing and build your own dreams so you don't have this anger, so that you don't live in this world. But what are your thoughts on that? Because I mean, you have a
Uh,
lot of time to
to,
think about this.
to be honest, I don't think about them. Like I don't.
Yeah.
My existence has nothing to do with them. Like they hate themselves, so I feel sorry
Right.
for them.
But you addressed them. So that's why I was like, if you thought
Well,
about them enough to
because
jump on
you
there.
asked me if they were in my face, that's exactly what I would tell them is
Yeah.
find Jesus and get off my dick. And if they decide that they wanted to take that further, then that's on them because I'm not going to bother them. I've never
Right.
Yeah.
bothered them. I've been the same since day one when I was all over Facebook with Candyman. Everybody was either loving us or hating us, and all the haters, it was all just blab. And I told them all,
Yeah.
y'all can say whatever you want to say. God bless you. I pray the best for y'all. I wish you
Yeah.
the best. Find Jesus and get off my dick. That's what I told them because I'm not bothering them, but they still do it. And I'm like, that's fine. Like, trust me, everything
Hey,
you
if it
said,
gets them there,
a lot of what you said, I relate to. We've heard of, we've seen it all. Like, we've literally seen it all. I've actually had friends that were hackers and
Yeah. See. Yeah.
they did very bad things. Like,
Yes.
I mean, they were
Dark
hackers that
web.
I mean,
Dark
I'm
web's real.
talking it, it's a long time ago, but we knew a guy that literally was going to chime me in on the Super Bowl, like on national television, and let me perform for 5 minutes before they could shut it down.
oh shit,
That would have
Like,
been
no, I'm
great.
talking like they had connections.
That'd be some
Well,
anonymous type shit.
some
Is that like some
crazy
bro,
anonymous
shit,
type shit?
I promise you on everything that at one time the vice president of Facebook was watching my live. Our buddy who was a hacker, he said the vice president of Facebook is watching you right now. Say hello to Miss So and So. And I said, "Hello, Miss So and So." They had a tape. They had her audio was heard. She literally said, "What the fuck?" because she couldn't believe that I knew she was online. But that's how
man.
we had it back then.
Love you, Brooke.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
dude, that's
It's pretty
insane,
wild,
man.
man. But
That is insane.
there's just been
So let's
so many opportunities, and
Oh God, I think just
so
all the people that you've known, like, it just blows me away. Like, your list is endless of like, jeez.
I want to know
well,
what's
just
up with
just even
this.
producers, like just people that
Rick
produce our
Ross's
music.
manager, yeah, was signing you.
Yeah,
Remember?
but
Like,
I'm
I mean,
saying just the people, and it's normal for my life now but it's not even like it's a big deal because I don't feel like I'm used to this part. But like, you know,
Yeah.
Drake's producer produces us. Shout outs to TY Exclusive. He did both singles on Drake's Scorpion album. He actually is an artist that's a producer that's signed with DJ Paul from 3 6 Mafia. Shout outs to those guys. They produce us.
Yeah.
They produce Bigfoot is Real and Kaylee. Shout outs to
From Memphis,
Kato.
aren't they?
Kato on the track. He's another big producer. He produced Caitlyn, that girl that blew up all over on social media. He produces us. We've got like 6 or 7 exclusive tracks from him. Shout outs to Kato.
Wow.
Irvin Pope, who done most of Jay-Z's Black album, all of the Games albums.
Holy shit,
G
dude.
Unit. I mean,
You
shout
are
out
a
to Irvin Pope. We've went right into Compton where he lives, right there with him recently. Shout outs to Ty Fife. Shout outs to Cool and Dre. These are all people that actually fuck with Bigfoot is Real and Kaylee, and I'm still not famous. So all these
You are
people
so like in so many ways. You're like I thought I keep
know,
calling you the Nashville gem. You are the Nashville gem, man.
Did you know Afro
I'm
Man?
just me. I'm just me. I'm just me. I'll always see myself as a
You're too
failure.
hard on yourself.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'll always see myself as a failure that God spared.
No way.
That
God did spare you. Yes, that is your
he
story.
spared my life so many times. You just have no idea how many times I should have been dead. How many
I'm so
times I should have
grateful.
been in prison. I come from a long line of dumbass people. My brother is murdered. He got murdered. He had double digits felonies. Worked for the judge as a snitch. Was a gang member, an active gang member. My family who are still alive, a lot of them have been in active drug addiction their whole life. They are stuck felonies. Most of them come from very bad backgrounds. I'm very blessed and fortunate that my mother got me away from that life. That is a life that I could have easily have fallen down because I have bad thoughts sober. I've been drunk twice my whole life, not because I'm not capable of drinking. It's because I have fucked up thoughts sober. So I don't want to be that guy. I have a cousin right now that's doing 55 years in prison for attempted murder for something he did drunk that he don't even remember doing. That's my family. These are my peoples.
I think that's something we all share. Both of our mothers got us out of questionable situations also.
But we could both be there. It's all
Mhm.
about making choices. I could go rob a bank right now. That doesn't mean that I'm special because I didn't go to prison. I'm lucky I didn't go to prison.
Same. I'm
Nice.
lucky
I mean,
too.
it's easy to commit crime. It's hard sometimes not to. When somebody's, calling me and talking shit about my wife and children and they're telling me they're going to come and approach me, it's very, very easy to think bad thoughts. And I do that sober. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I don't do any of that shit. Not because I'm not capable or it's not any of that. I know that I'm a better human being when I can think straight for myself and I don't have something else twisting my thoughts. I promise you guys, as God is my witness, if I was an alcoholic, I would be dead. I promise you, as God is my witness, if I was a drug addict, I would be dead. Because I have almost been there many times sober. I had to think 5 times before committing a crime that I never committed, but it was right there on the tip of my foot that I was about to go make this mistake. I have think twice tattooed on the top of my head because that's the only thing that's ever saved me was my mother's prayers, God Almighty, and me thinking over and over and over and over again, is this a good idea? This is not a good idea, Kaylee. This is not a good idea, Keenan. You don't need to do
You also have a scripture about Matthew 16:5. I looked it up and it was about forgiveness. It's about you being forgiven.
Matthew
6:15.
6:15. Yeah.
I had it backwards.
He has it spray
Matthew
painted on the
6:15.
wall.
And it's because the power of forgiveness, correct?
Well, yeah. Well, that forgive that's above my eye. That was to somebody that stabbed me in the back as well. And then when I finally forgave them, I wrote the N in red, symbolic of the blood, saying that and even my tattoos, man, are just so emotional to me because my whole life's on my face. It's on my body. Like I don't get this shit because I want to look like this.
Yeah,
I'm
because you want
not
to
a
be cool.
dumbass. I don't get this shit because I want to look a certain way. I get this
Yeah,
shit because
image.
it spared my life. All the tattoos on my body, I would be in prison or dead without them. They
Yeah.
stopped me from being somebody I'm not. And that's what we're all supposed to do. But
Yeah,
beautiful.
that was for somebody that had really, really hurt me bad. I almost killed myself over it. But I finally forgave them. And then it was because of what Jesus did for me as to why I was forgiven to begin with. And then that scripture just says that if you don't forgive others, God won't forgive you.
and that's right. The seed of unforgiveness stays in your chest like a ball, and he can see those seeds, and it's very hard to do. I've had to forgive some really
Well,
hard things.
if you don't forgive, you're just hurting yourself because they're not thinking about you.
Exactly, because you can't clean yourself, from the situation that
Well,
you can't forgive.
you forgive people so you can set yourself free. You're not setting
Exactly.
you're not
That's
setting
exactly
them
right.
free. Trust me, I
That's
was
exactly right.
molested. I was
Same.
molested like horribly by an 18-year-old kid when I was 4 years old. And this is deep because I don't feel this way no more, and I don't give two shits about the topic anymore. But I'll speak on it just because it shows you how God can change anger in someone's heart. But I was molested by a man when I was 4 years old. He made me do horrible things to him. I grew up blaming gay people for what had happened to me. I didn't want to be gay, but I hated gay people. And I thought that God don't ever send me a gay person to minister to. And what did he do? He sent me a gay person to minister to. And her name was Melody. And she was the nicest person I ever met. And God showed me, Keenan, it's not the person. It's not them being gay. It was this dumbass that chose to put his hands on me that fucked up my childhood. But
That's it.
listen to this. Listen to this. This proves to you you would not be having this interview with me right now if I had thought on my actions. If I'd done what I thought.
Yeah, thank God
I
you
was
did.
14 years old and I was at a fair in McMinnville, Tennessee, where I was born and raised.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I came within 30 feet of the man that molested me. I swear to you guys, I pull out a knife and my 7-year-old brother was sitting next to me. I start walking towards him. I was going to cut his throat. I was going to gut him. On God, it would have happened.
I believe that.
And my brother said to me, Keenan, what are you doing? And I thought, I've waited my whole life to see this guy. And now I'm about to kill him in front of my brother, who's just a kid. So I put the knife in my pocket and I walked away.
It's the hardest thing you ever had to do.
I wasn't a Christian then. I didn't know who God was.
I think you became one in that moment, whether you know it or
No.
not. I think it was a founding block.
I didn't get saved till I was 16 years old. But that guy had no idea how lucky he was. And
So sorry that happened to you.
well, he died before he reached the age of 30, and I had nothing to do with his death. God dealt with it.
God was just.
Well,
Yeah,
he died in an accident, a car accident, and that's it. But I never got to confront him for what he did to me. And I had to forgive him. Because if I didn't forgive him, that shit was gonna hurt me. It turned me bitter. You know, I don't hate gay people. Haley in my band is gay. I don't give two shits what people do with their life anymore like that. I don't care. It's between them and God. I don't care anymore. I used to. It made me bitter. It made me angry. And I never understood that it had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with that dumbass person that chose to hurt me as a kid, you know?
Yeah.
And there's just been so much trauma in my life. It's no excuse. You don't make excuse for your trauma and let it make you shitty.
Yeah.
You don't let your trauma make you shitty.
I agree with that.
You
I
don't.
agree with
You
that. God
forgive.
knows I have
You,
a lot of it.
you forgive people
Yes,
because it makes
absolutely.
you better. Fuck them.
That's the harder thing to do, but that's the stronger thing to do. I'm
Well,
trying to
you
raise
have
my
to.
kids. I'm trying to raise my kids right now the same way. I'm trying to raise 2 teenage boys in a world that's, like, full of this, like, right here. I'm trying to protect them from your story. I'm trying to protect them from walking into the bathroom and being told that, like, to suck on a vape with, THC in it because that's going to, like, be their resolve. And it's like I have to walk a fine line because I do smoke, and the reason being is because I don't take pills. I will not take pills. I do not trust Big Farm. Interestingly enough, my sister is the director of Walmart worldwide for Big Farm. She is the senior director for all pharmacies worldwide. And so it's kind of ironic, but I will not touch pills, like, because I'm not comfortable because they have these side effects that can kill me. I can't remember to take all these medications. I have so many medications, Kaylee, that have to do with PTSD, that have all these different things, and it's scary as shit. But like I would rather smoke something and relax and be okay than to take pills and take a risk that it's just not worth it to me. So I try my best, but I have to explain to my boys, coping mentally is the hardest thing to do, but that's what you need to do. A lot of these people just want to check out by smoking. That's why they say gateway. They don't say gateway because, oh, like, it's just you're gonna make all these stupid choices just because you smoke. No, they're saying gateway because eventually the tolerance runs out for what you're looking for. You're trying to put a band-aid over this big gaping hole and hoping it'll heal. With that, that's a temporary solve. A real solve is digging in there, digging through your trauma and really trying to find a way through it, whether it's writing, music like you do, um, artistry, because you really tap into many different artistries, which, by the way, when are you looking projectively for your book to come out? Because I'm buying.
Well, I have to get it finished. Like it's a process. I just wanted to see if people were interested. I'm gonna have many books. Um,
You should. You
I'll have
should.
many books. I'm hoping that I get some level of satisfactory success in my eyes, to where I can write a autobiography about my failures, my rise to success type thing. I Success is defined by the person who um, is defining it. You know, I success to somebody may be them getting a GED, and that may be all they ever want to do in life.
And that
Success
might
to
be
others,
that's great enough for those people too. Like
but
those are
that's what
my
I'm saying.
yeah,
Some people are satisfied with that, and I'm
you're
completely
not.
cool with that. No, I'm not. I'm not satisfied at all because I know what I'm capable of. I know even as a kid, and that's the such beautiful thing about even watching Jelly Roll live the life that he's living now. Like, Jelly's living my dream. Like, that's been my dream since day one. Like, to be able to make an impact like he's doing now, being able to have the microphone in front of millions of people and being able to speak whatever he wants, however he wants. It's been my dream since day one.
I sure hope
I
Jelly
still,
does
I
get back
still,
with you.
I still believe. I will say, I will tell you this, okay? I'll tell you this now, and when it happens, then you can say that he told us on his show before anybody else knew. Because this is a fact. This really happened. I don't care if anybody believes me. It doesn't matter. This is one of the things that drives me. But In 2000 and I'd say around 2002, I lived in Antioch, where Jelly's from, and I lived off of Bell Road. There was a Walmart there where the Lowe's is now, right there on the corner of Bell Road and Nolensville. There used to be a Christian bookstore right there on the corner. I drove over the speed bumps there. I promise, guys, it's on everything that I love. This happened. This was not a dream. This was not a vision. This was absolutely 1,000% factual. This really happened in my life. This man came out of this Christian bookstore. He had his hat on backwards. He was wearing a book bag. He was probably 25, 26 years old, had a goatee. I didn't know him for nothing, but he stopped right in front of my car and held his hands like this. Stop, stop. And I was shocked. So I just said, what, man? Like, you know what? And that was around the time I was working the street. So he come around the driver's side of my car. And I want you guys to hear me because this is truth. Like, I don't just tell people this shit. I don't speak on this. My fans don't even know this stuff. Because I don't care if they believe me or not, but this I'm telling y'all now.
Oh, you're a raw person, yeah. So
when it happens, y'all can say, damn, he told us that was going to happen. And I still believe it's going to happen. I still believe it's going to happen. I believe Bigfoot is real is going to be massive. I believe we're going to be at the top of the charts on pop radio and on rock radio all across America soon. Within the next 12 months, I believe that's going to happen. But listen to this. This kid stopped my car and he said, "Are you Kaylee?" I said, "I am." And he said, "I have a word from God for you." I don't believe this passed me, guys. I believe that God, for just whatever reason, is just waiting on the right time. I don't know, but
believe that.
He said, "You're going to win a Grammy." And he said, when you do, 20 million people are going to be watching the television screen. He said, the words that you say are going to touch thousands of people's lives. He said, keep God first. I said, no problem. He said, have a good day. And he walked away. And I thought it was so strange because my mom always has taught me, that you can entertain angels and you can talk to people that aren't even real on this earth, but they're angelic. They're sent here to give you messages. 100%. So I said, I've got to follow this guy because I don't know where he's going. He wasn't in a car. He was walking on the sidewalk. I turned my car around.
Jonathan Grinner, what's up, Kay?
I followed him around the back of the building and he disappeared.
Wow.
The world needs something like that.
Bro, he disappeared right in front of me. Nobody else saw it. Other people saw him standing in front of me. It was a busy Saturday. Like, there was people everywhere. There's no way I was the only one that seen him. I never got his name.
He's an angel.
I got out of the car and I started yelling. I said, hey, bro. I said, where'd you go? I said, I didn't get your name. And he never came back. So I tried to quit doing music like 4 different times in my career. I tried to retire. I switched genres like 5 different times. Even with Candyman, that's how I met Brendan. Brendan saw how much hype we were getting, and he was like, I thought these guys were, crazy, and so he wasn't even interested in us. But he all of a sudden contacted me and said, I can help you guys get known and blah, 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 and help you guys get a deal and everything else. And so I ended up talking to him. I flew to, California with him and flew to New York City with him. And He's believed in me since day one. I know this is business. I know it's a paycheck, but we've become friends, and Bigfoot is Real has grown. The band is phenomenal. It's unbelievable that I'm doing pop music now. I just can't even. By the way, Jonathan Griner that's on right now, it's coincidentally that he's on because that guy, he was with me right by my side when I opened up my very first tattoo shop in 2008.
Oh, nice.
What's up, Jonathan? How you doing?
worked-
Gang, 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 he said.
He worked behind the counter as my front desk person. He made custom jewelry for ears and things like that, and sold
Yeah.
T-shirts in the Christian tattoo shop that I owned.
That's awesome.
But
Well, he seems to think a lot of you. Like, he's here to support you, man. Like, yeah, he's got our
but
shit. We
guys,
got our
I've never stopped believing that. Every time I've ever tried to quit, people have told me,
You can't
you're-
quit because you obviously have something you're supposed to say.
I'm making the best music I've ever made in my life right now. And I'm almost 45 fucking years old.
Yeah,
I'm
trust me.
almost fucking 50.
I am
Good
40.
shit.
I'm literally making
I
the
like
best
that.
music of my life.
Yeah.
I like that tomahawk.
But
Yeah,
I'm just
Tomahawk
saying, like,
Brain.
I can't even understand what's happening right now. Like, it's unreal to me. Like,
Maybe the
I'm just
timing's
literally
right. Maybe it's time. Maybe you needed the wisdom. Maybe you needed the pain. Maybe you needed the stories. Maybe you needed the broken so that you could follow the people that are lost. Like, Jesus did not hang out in a church, okay? Jesus did not walk around and, like, a church and jump around and throw money all over the place and drive Cadillacs. No, sir. Jesus followed the broken. He wasn't interested in the gold miners. He wasn't interested in the coin growers. He was interested in the ones that needed him, that needed God, that needed guidance. And now you are one of those people that have led in obedience. So it's time. You've grown maturely. You've had to live this life. But I do truly believe, and I've told you this on set and offset, I do truly believe, like, outside of this studio, in my bottomest of hearts, you were meant to be the first one on this, and you are going to do things, and you are going to change people like you changed me. You influenced me, but you're doing it the right way. Yes, it's harder. It's harder than a pinhole, but you're going to make that hole open, wide open. I believe people like you, like Dying Oath, for instance, these people right here. I believe that people like you are set out to write music to inspire people so that they could say these words to you. You saved my life, and you can look at them and say, that was God.
I was just gonna say
That was God.
the main reason that I even touched you at all is because I wasn't trying to.
That's it.
Right.
I was
It's
just
like you
I,
said,
I
you were
was
like, I don't even understand this, but
I
you were
still
like,
I
because I don't
still
understand the storyline.
I still don't
You
even
don't
understand.
have to.
I
And you
just
don't
was
have to.
I was just being me. I don't
Yeah,
I
that's what it
guess
is.
the thing that's so fucked up about me now compared to who I was then. I literally used to go into like the projects with a gun on, and I used to walk up to people in mid drug deals, and I used to tell them, if I take my gun out of my pocket and I put it in your mouth and I pulled the trigger, what's going to happen to your soul? And they would literally look at me and they would go, I guess I'm going to hell. And I would literally tell them, we can fix that right now. I used to be like in such a different mindset. I used to try to be a hero. I used to try to. I
Friend
did,
Chris is doing that right now in California.
but I
He,
didn't.
he's
But I
he's
didn't think. I didn't think about. It's not about me doing things to touch them. It's just about me listening to God. If
obedience.
I'm just obedient to what He's telling me to do, then it don't matter. It don't.
Yeah.
None of it matters. It don't matter. I do care about the one. I talk to people back in that chair every day, and while I tattoo them, and
Yeah.
I pray for people all the time. I just don't.
An opportunity.
I just
100%.
don't brag about it no more. I just don't.
You're not boasting. You're trying to like be humble, and that's another part of growth, that you're unlocking different growths of your maturity in your walk in faith. And that's your journey. And that's where God is going to nuzzle the time and say, now he's ready. Now he's grown. Now he's come full circle. And, like he gets it. And once you do, he did the same thing with Jesus. Think about it. He waited till he was 33 before he did anything with Jesus, before he really moved him, before he started gathering him in. Like there's a whole background circle that we don't even know about that like is a part of this. And like I said to you, I I love all of my friends, no matter what their walk is, no matter because that is who I'm supposed to be. I'm very honest. Jonathan says he loves you, fam. Um, I want to
I
be
love you,
honest with
brother.
who I am. I want to be
Hey,
honest with who
and
I am.
Jonathan, when this is all done, they're gonna do what they do, edit it and all that stuff, and then I'm gonna start promoting it. So I want to get it out there to people.
100%.
So, tell me a little bit about this coloring book you got going on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Uh, I'm a
Yeah.
weirdo, man. I'm continuously always
Love it.
I'm
I like it.
always creating, inventing. I don't really ever stop. My brain doesn't ever stop. Like if I literally have like so many inventions that aren't even out in the public. They don't exist. Like that I could make millions of dollars off of if I had the means to produce them the correct way without somebody stealing them. So
Yeah.
my brain just doesn't stop. God's always given me a brain
I
like
was gonna ask you that. That was one of my major questions from the get-go that I haven't even gotten to ask you yet. But my biggest question was like, where do you find time to sleep, Kaylee? Where do you find time
it's
to
just
sleep
constant. I
between
just
all
don't.
the things you're doing?
Yeah, my brain just doesn't stop. I just know how quickly
Yeah.
we die. I
Yeah.
know that life is temporary, and my dad died at 46, and you know, I never knew him. My biological father, not my stepfather. My stepfather's dead as well. But um,
Yeah.
yeah, rest in peace to both of them. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Every day is just I just do what I've got to do. I can't. Anytime I've got, it's utilized with my kids, um,
Time well spent.
or my music. I play
What does
pool.
8 kids look like for Christmas, my guy?
I don't
It's
know.
not like you would think because I got a bunch of bitch ass baby mamas that don't that don't let me see my kids like I wish they would.
I'm sorry for that.
And
Y'all
it
need to do
is
better.
it is well it's way past that level now. Like now I don't even want to get into all that, but I
No, we're good. But
well
just
I do
know
have
this,
eight
they will
children.
come find you. They will come find you.
All that matters taped is that those kids, their daddy loves them more than anything, and I've never regretted any of them. I pray for them no matter if they know me, see me, or able to see me, or ever will know me. I love them. I hope that they find God in their life, and I hope that they will focus on trying to be obedient to what God wants them to do with their lives. And I hope that they can be better than me.
I love that you took that, because that was gonna be my question to you, is
That
saying,
part.
what would you wanna say to them? And I'm very honored that you're gonna be able to have that for them,
I just
because
want
there's so
my
many dads.
kids to be better than me.
Of course.
Just
That's
be
what we
better
want.
than me. Be better
That's
than me. Be
the
better
best
than
hope.
me.
That's what we want too.
I
Every
don't.
lesson,
I just
every
want
story.
them to do better than me. Don't don't. I never planned any of my fucking life, man. I never planned it like that. I never. Everything's happened just like my wife saved me. My wife now, she saved me. Like I would have killed myself if it hadn't have been for her.
So grateful and
Like
honored that you are.
where I
Okay.
was at mentally when I met her, and even just months after I met her, no wonder the devil has tried to take and destroy what we have. Because she saved my life.
Yeah.
And now, you know, my daughters, I have an autistic daughter. She's level 6 autistic, and she's not going to have to be brought up in public school. I have, my
We have a
best.
daughter that's on the spectrum as well, so
My
we
daughter's
understand.
autistic also.
Yeah, my stepdaughter, his daughter.
My youngest daughter, my very best friend in the whole world, who slept in my arms every day of her life. Like, she'll never see public school, and that's because my wife is going to stay home and teach them. And
How do you feel about public schools now? What's your thought about that with today's progression in violence? What do you think?
if I really told you the way I feel, like, I mean, I might even strike a nerve to other people because it's a
I don't think
shocker.
so. I think the U.S. is. I think the world is on the same board of being tired of all the
Well,
violence.
no, it's not. It's different. Like, you're not even expecting my answer, is what I'm saying. Like,
Like the education's wrong
no, I probably would have been one of those that shot up a school if it existed in the 80s, because
because you were
I
tortured.
was picked on, I was
Yeah,
I was abused. I had bullies that bullied me every day. Nobody thought about shooting up a school when I was in high school and middle school. Nobody thought about that. It wasn't a thing. And that's the
you're right.
reason why kids do it, because it's a thing. They see
Yes.
it. Oh, it gives them an idea. Oh, that's a good idea. Let's go shoot up the school and kill the bully and the teacher who told me I was never going to be nothing. That was me. I got a song. It's on my new album. It's called Red. And it's about a kid whose dad wasn't around. His mom raised him on her own, and he was bullied and picked on in school. And he ends up bringing a pistol to school, and he shoots up his whole school. And it literally just says they pushed him to the edge. Basically, you shouldn't have pushed him because now you're all red.
Wow.
And that kid in that song is me. And
I feel that strongly. I went through when I'm mixed, right? Like I have mixture in my blood because I'm a Sicilian, so that makes me Black Italian, and I've had racism stirred on me from both sides. I've had a skinhead chase me when I was a kid in Florida when I lived there, screaming that you're gonna die, and I can't say the word here because we're on a live, like, but you know, you guys know exactly what word was used. And he was a straight up skinhead, straight something out of American History X, like verbatim. And he was chasing me with a butcher knife. I was just a child, and I had like fluffy hair, of course, it's super humid in Florida. And I was so scared. And then I had another side of this when I was in my 30s, being here at Fort Campbell. I was walking out of a club and I was pretty much the lightest looking thing in there. Because I went in with my girl Candace, who I served in the army with. That's one of my best friends. And she's beautiful. We're coming out, and this guy is trying to hit on her. And I jokingly banter with this guy, like just trying to make a joke. And he said, "Don't talk to me, you stupid white bitch. Like, you don't talk to me. My grandmother said to never fucking talk to white people. I can't stand y'all." I said, "See, that's how fucking ignorant you are. That's how ignorant you are, that you don't even know who you're talking to, what my background is. You are just," I said, "You're exactly the same problem as the other ones. You are no better. You are no better of a person, whether you stand on one side. If you guys are screaming about someone because of their melanin skin, shame on you as a whole. I don't care what color you want to have. You got ribs, heart, brain, and bones to think and use your minds better than you do." So it's really time that we slow this bullshit narrative down, because I'm seeing it on every side. Now, I can get in trouble for that too, but bring it on. Because
well, I'm
again,
saying,
I've
I
had it
don't
from
want to.
both sides.
I don't want to people to get me twisted. I'm not. I don't. I don't.
I don't condone any of it.
I don't condone people shooting up schools, and I don't support it
Oh,
at
no,
all.
no. No,
But
you're talking about the heart. You
yeah,
were
but
heartbroken. You were that broken though at
yeah,
one
but
point.
I was that kid.
Exactly.
I
I
was
was that
that
kid.
kid.
The
Yeah, but
I
emotion.
was that kid. That's what I was getting
the
at.
the thing is though is that even bullies that used to bully me, like I've ran into them in the last 10, 12 years, and
Yeah.
a lot of people are like, well, Kaylee, I know you're no thug, and I know who you was in middle school, and you know what made me a thug? The shit that I went through in life made me a thug. It made me stop giving a fuck, because then I let people run me over, I let people push me, I let people stomp on me. I got a backbone and I built a calloused mentality to where I
Yeah.
stopped letting people talk to me like that. I stopped letting people treat me like that. So if that is what people call a thug, so be it. But I'm not a thug
I
by
don't think you are at all.
I'm not any of that. I have real mentality. I'm not a thug, but I don't gang bang and shit like that.
No, none of that shit.
But I don't
Yeah.
tolerate disrespect. My life
I
is
can't stand an
different.
injustice. I think you're the same way. I don't think we're the kind of people that can't stand an injustice, and that's who we are as people.
Well, I
We're
just had
not people that
I
can
had a
stand
I had a
disrespect.
I had a devil worshiper in the shop like last week.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, he I mean, it was obvious. Like he had pentagrams in his ears, and I didn't care. I was like, "You can come here anytime you want to," and he was like, "I appreciate that." And I said, "Yeah, I mean, I know what you are, and I'm a Christian." And I said, "Just you keep you keep all that on your
Yeah.
end." And I said, I don't got no problems with you, man. I said, you can come
That's
anytime
it.
you want to. Just respect me, respect this place for what it is, respect my beliefs and everybody else in this building's beliefs. Everybody in this building believes in Jesus, and you don't, and that's fine. That's between you and him. But don't let that
Don't
get you.
disrespect my daddy. That's all I'm saying. Like, and
Yeah,
I'll be fine
he,
with
he
you.
said
Like, do
he
what you
said I would never do that. So
That's all
I don't
I ask too.
I
Like
don't.
all my friends that are like any of them, like I've always asked them, like, I'll never make fun of you for what you want to be. I'll never lie to you about what I am. All I ask is because it's very like like people don't understand how much we are picked apart for our beliefs. People don't understand how ridiculed and judged we are. Oh, even the guy that I recently left, like, it's like break out baby Jesus. I'm like, Jesus wasn't a baby. Like it's just the things when he died. I'm not, because they're like, and he's trying to like make a reference to be funny, but I'm like, we're already walking a line here. If I would have made a little jokey joke about you, that would have instantly pegged you to be offended. But you think it's okay to do it to me. And that's exactly the problem that I'm having with these hypocritical standards that people are having, whether it be for color, religion, all of these things. We would be a lot cleaner of a platform in life if we could learn to respect each other
Yeah.
for who we are as characters, not what we believe and what our product of our environment are. But I want to ask you, okay, so breaking into that next video that we have there, the one that you have with about the domestic abuse, and it's really raw. The ending is like really unexpected, and I see that she's like holding a military picture too. And
Which
now is
ver-
that supposed to represent her
which
dad?
version? Which version are you playing? There's two versions.
She was folding a blanket at some point. We cut we cut a lot of the front because it was so quiet in the front. But like it opens, it's gonna open up, Kaylee, where the kid finds the dad and there's pills.
Well, because there's a director's cut, and then there's an actual video. It's just the music video.
Yeah. I believe it's just the music video. So
Well,
it's
if
straight up
y'all
just
cut if y'all cut stuff off of it, because there's two of them.
the only piece we did was like, her folding a blanket and stuff like that. We were trying to like, for time's sake, we want to get the music in there. But like it cuts open to, and it shows a good picture. It's not like it loses the picture, because it shows where basically he's abusive, he's doing, drugs, this, that, and the other. And At the end, you think that she's gonna go and get this gun when in fact, like, she's giving it to him to say, "This is your demons."
Hmm.
I love the moment where you reach over the back of the seat, like, "No." And it literally, I think if I took it right for the creativity, that was the moment that she was really gonna do the other way. You
Yeah.
flipped it with the angel
Well, I
moment of
just wanted her
approaching
to
her
feel that there was another
another way.
somebody was with her.
Right.
Yes, yes, she wasn't alone. You're
Yeah.
not gonna d like, today's not your day. Like, and it took no words, which was interesting for what you did. You pantomimed a storyline, which is actually a huge acting thing. I study, like, all the acting situation through my son, Christian, because he's an actor. Um, but I found it very amazing that you did such a powerful moment with no words at all, and that's a very strong piece. I really would like to play this song and kind of dive into it. And then when I go to wrap this, because we're gonna wrap up after that, I want you to think about how you want to end this with saying, because we discussed your failures, we've discussed your successes, which your successes are so far more beautiful than anything you could think. And your failures, I'm grateful for because you're
And
alive.
we only talked about. I mean, I got into talking more about God than anything, but yeah, I
I
didn't.
gotta get you in the show. I've got to get
I
you.
mean,
Like, I think
I
that
believe you just got information and stories after story.
yeah,
You
there's so many. Like,
could be here till
I could chronologically, like,
6
Well,
o'clock
it was
tomorrow
like, cause
night.
you asked me a question about my coloring book, and I didn't even go into that, like,
oh
or about,
yeah, so yeah, so you
about
were saving your
every
work, right? Like,
every
tell
time
me.
you guys ask me something, something else pops in my head, and I go somewhere else.
That's
And
that's normal.
you asked me about my book too, and I didn't even go into that. Like, I just was like,
Go ahead,
well,
tell me about your book. Go ahead. Like, we got
no,
time.
no,
We'll
no.
talk.
You can play the track. I just was saying, like,
Yeah.
every time you guys ask me something, God takes me another direction, and I can't help it. It just I keep.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
anytime you ever want to promote any of that stuff or get a message out with
You
it,
keep coming back and we're
you're
gonna
always
keep
welcome
promoting
back.
you. And like honestly, I'd love to journal your life. Like I've met a lot of celebrities in this world, dude, and you are probably the one that I have thought like really had the most impacting, real, raw story that I've ever heard. Like, and you think you haven't made it. I see a man that has succeeded but you still have a mission because you were given a mission the day that man walked up to your car
Yeah,
and
that's
disappeared.
the thing about success, though, guys. Like,
It's never enough.
I mean, some people it is. There's people that literally just they're content with a 9 to 5, and they come home and go fishing in the morning, and their life's really simple. And
Yeah. And shout out to those people, right?
well,
Everybody needs
you're
a
saying
person.
that's not me. Like,
It's not you.
I've
No.
always felt like I was supposed to be a celebrity. I've always felt like the guy that couldn't go anywhere because paparazzi wouldn't let him. Like, I've always felt like that's the life I was supposed to live. Like, that's why I said in a lot of ways, Jelly's living my dreams, because it's getting to the point now where he probably can't go anywhere now. Um,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be that way. I'm content. I want to state that for the record, though, that I'm content. If God never lets me, for whatever reason, go there, I'm okay. God's good. My life's
Yeah,
good.
but
I've
I
got
don't
my
see it.
family. I mean, do I really want to be away from my family? Like, do I really want to go on the road for 6 months? Those are the dreams I dreamed when I was younger. Like,
Yeah.
now it's like, okay, God, do
I
you
get it.
want?
I get it.
But
I
I,
feel
I
that.
wanted to
Get
do that
older. Yeah.
then.
I
No,
feel
I
It's
that.
get
like,
it.
Lot of sacrifice
Yeah.
involved.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, do I really want to do that now? Like, um, if
Yeah.
God does this, it's because He wants to do it, not because I want to
Yeah.
do it. Because
Yeah.
I would much rather stay here in this tattoo shop, make good money, see my daughters and my kids as much as I can, because nobody even knows how much time we have here. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have a clue how long I've got. I don't.
No one does.
No one does.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Life is supposed to be that. Like, I was in a gas station, and every time I get to talking, God just keeps giving me stuff, man. But I was in Clarksville yesterday, and I went into a gas station, and I said, "What's going on, man? How you doing?" He said, "Well, I normally tell people I'm doing good, but really, man, it's just another day of struggles for me, man." And I said, "Well, I don't know whether you believe in heaven or whether you believe in hell, but I said, I do." And I said, "You think your life's pretty shitty?" And he said, "Yeah, I do." And I said, "Well, do you know that every person in hell would do anything to come back and live your shitty life?"
Wow. Yeah. That's
And
well
I said,
said.
"So that obviously means that your life isn't as shitty as you thought it was." And he was like,
Wow.
"Huh." And I said, "Bro, I don't care whether you believe in hell or not." I said, "It's real. There's a place that people live on this earth and they don't want God. So do you think you're going to go to a place where God is when you spent most of your life not wanting him here? No, you're going to go to a place where God doesn't exist because you didn't want him when you were here." So there are people that are there and they would do anything to come back and be a disabled veteran and live with the problems that you live with every day. They would do anything to come back and live paralyzed from the neck down and not be able to walk, because they would get to breathe the air again and they would get another chance to make their life right because they fucked it up. And they don't get that chance again. So when I told this guy this, he was like, "Wow, I never had anybody tell me that before." And I said, "Bro, your life's not as bad as you think it is if every person in hell would come back in a heartbeat and live it." And he was like, "Wow." He said, "Okay, well," I said, "have a better day, brother." And I'm sure the guy just was like dumbfounded because somebody looks like me just told him that.
It's amazing to be like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, what do you think? Like, it's,
I think it might have more impact.
yeah, I agree.
Oh,
I think it definitely had an
Where'd it
impact for
go?
him. I don't know.
looks like it dropped off. Maybe did you want to play that other video and see if
Go
it
ahead.
reconnects?
Yeah, I guess we can.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and play this video of his. So this video is going to be a trigger warning for people that have dealt with domestic violence. I'm really glad that the industry's starting to take this on again. And we'll have him back up and running to say his last words to you guys before we exit out today. Thank you so much for being here. And don't forget to like and share. Check out Kaylee on all of his platforms. Just type in Kaylee, you're gonna find him. He's on Facebook, YouTube, you name it. He's there. And Crooked Crown, type us in. We're spelled a couple different ways, like same spell, but some's cap and some's not.
And by chance, if he doesn't pop back on, do you just want to sign off after the video then?
Well, we'll see what happens. So let's just go ahead and play this video for you guys. Thanks for being here with us so far. We really appreciate it. It's been a really good video. Right here. All right, here we go.
Breathe in, breathe out. Fucking baby, take a new route. Don't listen to him, always talk down. Don't give him the sex, always putting out. He ain't never been real, call him a nickname. How he whacking his dick like it's a Kit Kat. He be sharing it all over behind your back. The 4-5 looking like a payback. Get back. He ain't never loved you. Fucking another girl, what he be doing to you? Walk on water, give him the world. Always flirting with other girls. Fuck that shit, girl. You were better than that, you ain't an object. You were better than that, so when you take that, quit that. You a shining star, shine brighter, baby girl. You got that. You a shining star, rewards coming, you ain't that far. Back road in your daddy's car with the window rolled down, you got the focus, girl. And you going strong, been 10 days and he won't leave you alone. Shine, baby, you're on your own, yeah. You a shining star, rewards coming, you ain't that far. Back road in your daddy's car with the window rolled down, you got the focus, girl. And you going strong, been 10 days and he won't leave you alone. Shine, baby, you're on your own, yeah. Breathe in, breathe out. Second chances, you can turn around, thinking of what you be about. Turn down the negatives, won't you let it out? Back roads, windows roll down. Better slow down, merry go round. Will he ever be true, baby girl? Fuck no. Better know now. You done call the police, he put his hands on you, but he said he don't beat ya. Won't let hell bleach ya. Bottom of the barrel, motherfucker, jail didn't teach him shit. You better walk away, stop giving your love away. He's only playing games. Shine bright, baby girl, you got this. You a shining star, rewards coming, you ain't that far. Back road in your daddy's car with the window rolled down, you got the focus, girl. And you going strong, been 10 days and he won't leave you alone. Shine, baby, you're on your own, yeah. You a shining star, rewards coming, you ain't that far. Back road in your daddy's car with the window rolled down, you got the focus, girl. And you going strong, been 10 days and he won't leave you alone. Shine, baby, you're on your own, yeah. You a shining star, rewards coming, you ain't that far. Back road in your daddy's car with the window rolled down, you got the focus, girl. And you going strong, been 10 days and he won't leave you alone.
I'm leaving.
No, we're not doing this shit anymore. We're not doing this fucking
you're right.
running.
We're not doing this anymore.
Every time we've got like a little fucking tiff, you just fucking want to run away.
No.
You're not fucking go anywhere.
Yes, I am.
Man,
My
my guy.
phone died.
That's
Oh,
okay, man.
no
That's
worries.
okay.
We
We
just,
cleaned
just
up.
thought it was a good time to play that video.
It was perfect. It was perfect. We just threw it. We threw in the video, and you were actually back in time perfectly. Man, you had me crying at the end of that again, because it's like again,
Good
why?
stuff.
Oh, it's really raw stuff. Like when I watched him, like just when you put that arm on her shoulder like that, and like just no, like I mean, it really spoke a lot to me because there's so many people out in this world that need somebody like that to actually grab them and stop them. And we're losing too many people. And guns don't kill people. People kill people. People take their own lives and everything else. And um, I love the message when musicians and artistry comes into making a transitional difference in people's lives. It's something, Kaylee. Like I can't wait to see what you're going to do with your career moving forward. And it's not over. Like until the last breath is drawn out of you. How do you want people what do you want to leave on the table? What is the most important things you want this world to know about you leaving this behind?
Well, I want everybody to know how much God loves them and how he hasn't forgotten about them. And no matter what they've done in life, he'll forgive them. And I've met murderers, people who have killed multiple people. So many people I've met in my life that were involved in so much bad activities. And they always said the same thing, that God would never forgive them. And that's bullshit. If God can forgive me for all the stuff I've done, thought, been a part of, he can forgive anybody. It's just about the people humbling themselves and saying, God, I need you in my life. And for me, it's I don't even want to know if I hadn't have killed myself. I'm statistically a person who should have died a long time ago, because most people that have even experienced a fraction of the failure that I've experienced would have taken their own life many, many, many years ago. I know people that's killed themselves over jobs that
Yeah.
they've lost.
Yeah.
But they've never had a, you know,
Hard.
I can't even speak on some of the tragedies that I've been in my life. That it's just when you've been through some of the stuff that I've been through, like most people don't come out of it. They end it, and that's because they can't see hope anymore, which is all I believe that hell is anyways. It's a place where hope has been stripped. Even people on death row, they have hope. They think that they believe that they'll get out one day. Hope is stronger than love, because you can love anybody, but if you take someone's hope away, they'll put a bullet in their head because they feel like there is no coming back.
Yes.
But that's what hell is. It's a place where there is no hope. You're stripped of all hope. You are completely stripped of the fact that you know that you're never getting out of there. It's not like being on death row where your lawyers might pull some strings and get you out. There's hope. Even some of the worst criminals in the world all had hope. They all believed that they could get out. So that drove them. The hope drove them. So when you strip someone of hope, I mean, you're already dead. You can't kill yourself again. So if that's a place that we go, imagine feeling that, but timesing it by 100, of wanting to die, but you're already dead. Wanting to end the pain, but the truth is, the pain is never going to end. You don't get an option for the pain to end. You had your chance, and that chance is no more. You're stripped of all the hope that you ever had. That's what hell is. It's not a place where God sends us. It was never created for us. It was created for the devil and his demons. And we have made choices to rebel against God and turn against God. Honestly, it's the most important thing to me on this earth, is making sure people that support me know that it is my go-to. Oh, I'm on drugs, I need help. God. Yeah, but that's easy to, I mean, even people around me, there are people in my band that aren't even Christians. I don't give two shits. I'm not here to push it on them. I mean, this is my interview. If that was their interview, they would be talking about what they believe.
That's it.
Um,
And that's the point.
I'm
That's
not
the point.
trying to be
It's making you
forceful to
feel,
anybody about my,
yeah,
about what I believe, but it's my go-to. If people are hooked on drugs, it is my only go-to.
that's fair.
Jesus, like, ask him to come into your life.
He's the
Ask
answer.
him to fix you.
That's fair.
Tell him you're a fuck up. Tell him you
Standing at
need
the
it.
door.
It's the only hope that this world has. He's
I hope
changed.
I hope that impacts somebody. I hope
Absolutely.
Well,
that
it
his
will.
impact helps anyone.
It will.
But
Standing at the door. All I need you to do is answer it.
That's it, man.
mhm,
If people can't swallow their pride, and it's not impressive. Oh, well, I don't believe in God because I can't see him. You believe in oxygen. I mean, you can't see it. You believe in carbon dioxide and you can't see it. It's not impressive to not believe in something you can't see. Well, I don't believe in God because I can't hear him. Well, I can. I don't believe in God because, I believe in whatever. We live on a ball in the middle of outer space.
yeah.
We don't. School teaches us that out there is outer space. No, we are living in outer space. If anything, we're all aliens to some other life form that might be out there somewhere else.
Yeah, it's
Like, we live on a ball in the middle of nowhere. We live on a ball in the middle of nowhere that
that's
is
true.
so
Yeah.
close from the sun that if we was any closer, we'd burn to death. We're
Yeah.
so close from the moon
Well,
that if we was
Yeah,
any
what are the
closer,
odds
we'd
of
freeze.
that, right?
But the sun and the moon don't ever get close enough to hurt us. And we
No.
live on a ball in the middle of outer space.
Oh, right. And we've got rocks that are thrown at us that could like literally
Yeah, but
dissipate
come
us.
on.
that is
But
not
then, but then the,
Armageddon.
Sorry.
but the sky's blue.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
don't
how
make
can
no sense.
you logically think that something greater than us didn't create this? Like,
Yeah.
everything
No.
on earth had a creator. The couch, the microphone, the pool table, our clothes, these gold
Yeah.
teeth, everything that we have was created by somebody. Somebody's art form created it. So
Yeah.
why would the earth not have a creator? And it
Right
doesn't
on.
make sense that science, people say, oh, I believe in science. Oh, that's cool, man. But science has never created a tree from scratch that produces oxygen. Science has never created a human being that produces carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
Science has never created trees that keep human beings alive and human beings that keep trees alive. It's the only two things that science hasn't created.
So let me ask you this. All right, so like jumping back into your music a little bit. How do you want to take like cuz like as we're wrapping this, I want to like really encase what you're doing here because not only are you moving with God, which is really like it's huge for us. But let's say that Rick Ross's manager or somebody else is watching this one day and like why Kaylee? Why Bigfoot is real? What is it that
I'm gonna answer that, and I'm gonna tell you what happened in 2020. And again, it's another failure, and there's nothing I can do about it. But I'm not going to mention the guy's name. I'm sure he doesn't mind. But my manager called me and said, "Hey, so and so wants to sign Bigfoot is real." And I said, "Okay, I've heard that guy's name before." Well, I went and looked him up. He was the president of one of the biggest record companies in the world at one time. He was the vice president of one of the biggest record companies in the world at one time. He was just literally his hands have been in Michael Jackson's career, Metallica, Stained, Janet Jackson. some of the biggest musicians in the business. This man
Rick Ross as well.
has put them out. Matter of fact, Master P's first deal came by way of this man. And Master P's worth over $100 million. Well, this man was flying from California to sign Bigfoot is Real to a 3-year contract to an independent label that he started. This guy has 268 gold and platinum records. He flew to my tattoo shop in 2020.
We had the picture of it with the promo, right?
Yeah, I just don't want to mention his name out of respect for him.
That's fair. That's fair. But like,
But-
yeah, but it's all
but
there for proof.
He flew here, sat right here and said, "Do you know why I'm here?" I don't. I said, I'm 40 years old. I have no idea why you're here. And he said, "Well, I'm not here to sell records." He goes, "It would be nice," but he said, "That's not why I'm here." He said, "I'm not here to make millions of dollars. I've been done that." He said, "I'm here because you want to change the world." And he signed my band. And 2 months later, COVID came. And shortly after that, he gave us a cease and desist letter, and he dropped my band. He told me, he said, "This time next year, you'll be at the Grammys with me." And that never happened. It's been just crazy. Like, so much has happened. So much has almost happened. There's been huge engagements that were supposed to take place, and floods happen in cities that these people live in, and they can't leave their house to come meet me. I'm talking major industry people. So much has happened. Tornadoes have struck neighborhoods that famous people lived in that was they were supposed to be on a plane to come hang out with me for a contract, and it all got stalled and nothing ever happened. Like, it's been one blow after the next, after the next, after the next. It's been ongoing for my whole career. I get literally this close and something takes place and stops it every single time. Like, I just can't tell you how many times that's happened to me, where I had an opportunity, I took it, and then it turned out to be a bad deal. And then, I mean, Warner Brothers offered me a contract with $50,000 tied to it, which back then was a lot of money.
Yeah, hell yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I remember. I know what you're talking about too. Yeah.
I turned the deal down because I thought it wasn't a good idea. Had no idea that that deal would have probably made me a superstar. I've had so many people contact me, reach out to me, trying to help me in my career. Shout outs to every industry executive that's believed in me, and I'm still not there. Shout out to every person who's ever
Come back in this life's man. Like, come back in this man's life. He is
I'm just
ready.
saying, every
Your
person that's
season.
ever bought my
I
music.
challenge these people to come back to you though, Key,
Absolutely.
because you're ready. You're
Give you
ready.
your
Well,
opportunity.
See, that's the thing. The
right.
guy that dropped us, he still likes everything I post on Instagram.
Like, where? Like,
He's my.
it's not.
It's
Come on,
just.
I challenge this guy.
It's just. It just. I mean, it just is what it is. Like, I'm. Let me see if
You
it's.
got a lot of skin left on you.
Absolutely.
Let me see if it's in my wallet. I'll show you this. Hopefully, it still is. If it's not, it's at my house. But, this man I'm telling you about, when he
Yeah.
was here, he gave me a little silver cross, which it's at my house, but my dogs chewed up my wallet.
Oh yeah.
They chewed up my
We have.
wallet. They chewed up all the
We have
money that was in it and
Great
everything.
for many things.
Well, I have
including
I have
stuff.
7 pits, so
Oh
they
wow.
chewed up my wallet. But hold on a second. But he gave me a little cross, and the little cross says "God loves you," and I've carried it in my wallet ever since. You know, I still dream those dreams, man, just because it ain't happened for me. Like my music is, it's real. I'm not passionate about any object thing on earth more. I mean, like my kids, I'm passionate about all that stuff. It's not the same. Like, it's just not the same. Like, music is, I'm more passionate about it. I cry when I listen to my own music.
Oh, I understand. Yeah.
I
You're
get
supposed to
very,
feel it. That means you're doing it right.
but it's, I mean, I just put out my new album and I was so excited. Apple Music's rejected it. Like, why?
Why? Did they give you a reason?
No. Pandora picked it up. Spotify picked it up. Deezer, Amazon.
Well, you
Every
know, Apple's got that bite out of the apple in the back
yeah,
of our phones. You know
but
what that
think
means,
about it.
right?
Think about it though. Like this
Well,
album,
look
I'm
what's stopping you. What do you think's
so
stopping you?
excited for me to be able to push it on Apple's platform because that's the biggest platform, and they rejected it. And I'm like, it seems to be one thing after another
You
to
know what
get.
it is. You know what it is.
I,
Sounds like to me
I know
that
what
the
it is, and
enemy's at work.
I can't.
Enemies.
All I can say is that it's just not. It's not the time yet. Um, that's another reason
God is
that
bigger. Just know
me.
God is bigger. God is
That,
bigger.
that's another reason that me not going on Ink Master is not a problem because my manager was like, "Okay, we've got a lot of stuff that's happening right now," and he's like, "If you go on that show, even though it's cool, like 30 days being at the show is going to stump what we're doing because we're already bulldozing. Things are happening right now, and the music is unreal. We just released our last single. It's called The Prey, and it's out
Yeah.
now everywhere. It's not like praying, but it's like the PREY. Like
PREY. Yep. I
yeah, you're
saw it. The prey.
praying.
Yep. Orange cover. I like it.
It's pink.
Oh,
It's pink.
okay. My bad. Sorry. My memory, yeah.
But
Thank
it's
you.
Colorblind.
yeah.
Colorblind.
But I'm so excited to see what God does, and I keep recording new music. We got new beats just sent to me last week, and you know I write all the time. I don't usually write unless I'm recording, but we write super fast. We write music in like 5 minutes, literally. It's like we write all this. I wrote Tomahawk in like literally 15 minutes.
Love Tom
That
Hawk.
song.
But
Yeah.
I write those stuff so fast. Like we wrote Yeah in about 15 minutes. Shining Star, I literally wrote it in like 20 minutes in front of Drake's producer in California in 20 minutes. He played
I
the
like
track.
that chick Haley that you work with too. Haley's got a good voice. I like her
Yeah,
vocal.
Talent. I know she's been working with you for a while.
Yeah.
yeah, long time, like 5 years.
Nice vocals on her. Listen, I volunteer myself too. I'm a vocalist, so you better come hit me up. I would love to rip some music with you.
I'm a
see how I like it.
musician, so she's a vocalist.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely am a soulful vocalist, and I love to do music. I love playing around and kicking in the studio, man. I miss studio time. I want to get back into doing studio time, man.
Yeah, no
So,
doubt.
but I think that the circulating thing here is, to me, what I can wrap around all of this is whatever failures you saw as, I see them as like road guards.
Guardrails.
Guardrails,
There
thank
you go.
you. I see them as a guardrail. I see them as guardrails to protect you for some reason, and I also see that your other failures in almost taking your life is a major success to not only your children that have survived, to the people that love you. Looking in your eyes and the sincerity and the, like, I mean, really, you make me really want to cry, like, with your, and I'm not like, It just seems like lately I've been really purging my feelings because I've just been having this spectrum of life, right? And I think you're in that too. You're in that season where it's like we're in our 40s and we're now seeing things for what it was and what it is. And your failures are your successes
Yeah.
to build for what's coming. I
And
really believe in
if
that, Kay.
and if anything, your life is a testimony to other people.
It really is. To not give up.
We've talked
Just
about the
just,
grand scheme of
show these people your shop. Like, I mean, this is what you've built. This is the thing you've done. You've got a pool table sitting in there on
It's
some look at this.
amazing.
I mean, it's amazing. And oh, by the way,
He has a stage and
wait,
everything.
hold on. Here's another thing that people don't know about him. He is a pool shark, my friend. So if you guys catch him out, you better
Watch
not
out.
play with him. You better not play with him because he is a great white. Yeah, I did my homework.
Walk away.
I did my homework, Mr. Tournaments. I did my homework, Mr. Pool Tournaments. So
Yeah,
it's no question why. It's no question why you have that pool table in there because you love that. That's another calming thing that you can do.
I love pool.
It's strategy. You like strategy, and that's who you are. You are strategic, you are creative, you never stop in your growth or want for more and to be more and to give more and to provide more. I see that in you. You want to give your wife and your family the best versions of you for when your family that will be around you again, by the way, they will come to you. And what's great is you're not going to be a father that's going to reject them. You just gave them a beautiful statement for them to see for when they wanna see their dad, and they will. Nobody, no female can stop that from happening. So, God bless you in that road, and God bless you in every road that you're doing because that's what's
Hey, y'all the
happening.
same. I appreciate y'all wanting to interview me. I appreciate it.
You
No
had to
worries,
be
man.
first. I keep
You're
telling
always
you.
welcome.
You were amazing.
And on the way out, I want to give you the opportunity to tell everybody the information for your tattoo shop and also where to find
Where to
you.
find you on everything, just tell them what to
We'll plug it too. So
Yeah, we'll also plug it and put it in the information in the, bio as well, so
Yeah. Well, just so you know, like that's my coloring book,
Alright, cool.
and
Yeah,
they'll.
dude, I never got to see the
awesome.
I never got to see the front of it, just the opening.
It's called frontal
That, you guys.
cortex. Frontal cortex is the creative part of your brain that creates. So I wanted to, and it's just basically everything that was in my brain. So it's got penis houses and all types of stuff in there. It's an adult coloring book, but
What is it with men and
I
penises?
don't know.
What is it with guys with farts and penises? I swear, y'all
funny.
can't keep
yeah,
your composure.
there's a couple people farting in the book too.
See? See? What is it with guys with farts and penises? But go ahead,
Somewhere.
go ahead. We'll go collect
Well, my
ourselves.
shop, it's in Ashland
No.
City, Tennessee. It's like 20 minutes from Nashville.
That's
It's
right.
called King Allen's Tattoo Emporium, and this place is awesome.
Yeah, it
God's
is.
blessed it here. I love it here. This is my home. And if you guys never need tattoos, you can text me 629 246 3378.
Absolutely. And he's got amazing
Like a tattoo fun
amazing
in
people
there.
working with him there. He's got an amazing
Tattoo
team, just
fun
hungry,
house.
always wanting to ink somebody up. And not like his first time. Shredder is long behind him now.
Oh,
he
yeah.
is now a master ink artist for
He said
because
he had 4 lounges in there.
4 lounges.
I
Yep.
do. Yeah, I think I've sat in all 4 couches. I think, no, actually, this one I didn't sit in during this interview. And y'all see a thinner Kay Lee too, because I started a diet today, so I gotta drop. I'm gonna try to drop a good 10, 15 pounds before May 6th. My band's getting together on
A
May
lot
6th.
of weight, sir. I saw the weight loss. By
I'm
the
a
way.
Yeah,
hard at
well,
work.
I've been fat skinny my whole life. I don't
Yeah,
care.
same.
I don't care that
too.
I'm chubby. I really could care less. Like I feel good. My life's good. I feel good, so I don't care.
You look
But
great.
but I just I used to be 325 pounds. Now I'm about 265.
Yeah, you
I
look
got
great.
I got down to 217. I was way too thin. But then I've been 235, 240, 250, 260. I've not gotten any higher than what I am right now since I was 325. But I'm not trying to get back there anymore. I need to lose a little weight so my clothes fit better. But I gotta, get ready for what God's gonna do. So I'm already excited. I'm already ready, and I'm just keep doing what I'm doing, keep writing songs. But
Exactly.
anybody who ever wants my music can text me. Anybody ever wants a coloring book can text me. Um, anybody who wants a tattoo can text me. Again, my number is 629
Information.
629 246 3378.
That's right. Shoot him a text, you guys. Reach out, find out about his books, his coloring books. His book is coming out soon about his life, about his journey. And I mean, again, you can see he's got so much that we have to bring you back to the
Well,
studio.
the book is about
Empire Needs-
the stories that people have told me while I've been tattooing them from behind the chair. So I've literally seen everything you can
Oh,
ever
it's an
imagine.
Yeah, it is.
I've had people
You wanna say it?
suicidal, and I was the very last person that ever tried to reach them. I tattooed them, talked about God to them. They didn't want to hear it. 5 days later, they blew their brains out. I was the last person to ever try to reach them. And I want to tell their stories, but I just want to change their names and the cities they're from. And
You get the
it's
point.
very, very interesting book. I've seen so much, man, like behind that chair, tattooing
Yeah.
35,000 tattoos. I've heard some pretty wild stuff, man. And it's not like just crazy stories. It's like very deep, intact
Right.
conversations that I had with people, a lot about faith. I've had a lot of atheists in my chair. God brought them to me, and we got to talking. Their wheels would turn. They
Yeah.
went home. One was a full-blown atheist. I just tattooed his back. Within the week after I tattooed him, he was trapped in a car in a flood in Nashville and was killed. And I was the last person to ever try to reach him.
I had to
What?
show this. Mindy from Dying Oath. She's got seven. They've got like a set. She was the band that I interviewed. That was the last spin on that radio station that I was on. I ended up falling in love with this woman. She is amazing. Such a good heart, good person, trying to make a difference like you are with music. She's saying, "Hey fam," on here. I have her shirt on, Dying Oath. They have 17,000 followers here on Facebook. They're killing it. She just dropped a single as well. That's why I was telling you a lot of artists are dropping single by single. I noticed, and you're doing the same.
Yeah.
But she was saying hi. She came in to show support. I absolutely love her. We're gonna end up having her on the show as well. I love that. I can't say enough good things about that band. Really,
That's awesome.
they're heart stricken.
That's awesome. Well, I've really enjoyed it, guys. I really appreciate it.
Me too, man.
Tons of
Thank
shit
you.
that wasn't said, and God's in control of all of that.
Oh, that's okay. You know what? God's saving it for another day. Don't worry. You're coming back to the Empire.
Yeah.
You got to
Anytime
talk
you
about.
ever want to promote anything or talk about anything,
You have an open slot.
hit us up.
You're already my favorite guy.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you too, bro.
All right, man. Hey, we'll talk to you offline. We thank you for joining Crooked Crown Empire, telling us your story, the realness. Thank you for being honest with who you are, and thank you for loving people enough to reach out and show people there's life to live here.
Absolutely.
I love you, man. God bless you guys.
Alien gang, motherfuckers.
Crooked Crown goes.
See you, bro.
Breathe in, breathe out. Fucking baby, take a new route. Don't listen to him, always talk down. Don't give him the sex, always putting out. He ain't never been real, call him a knick-knack. Patty whacking his dick like it's a Kit Kat. He was sharing it all over behind your back. The 4-5 looking like a payback. Get back. He ain't never loved you. Fucking another girl, what he be doing to you? Walk on water, give him the world. Always flirting with other girls. Fuck that shit, girl. You were better than that, you ain't an object. You were better than that, so why you take that, quit that. You a shining star.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining the
y'all.
Empire. Thank you for episode 1. Season 1, we're just getting kicked off. We're just starting. As you can see, we've got people that we know that have lots of amazing stories to tell.
Amazing people.
Find Kaylee on every major social media.
Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.
And reach out to us if you think that you have something that you want to talk about. You want to tell your story, your journey. We'd love to hear you. We would love to interview all specs of people in the industry or trying to climb into the industry. We want to support that. We want to nurture that. We want to help you guys grow too.
Hit us up on email or send us a private message.
Yeah. Rock on, y'all. Let's go. Crooked Crown Empire.
See y'all.
Later, guys.